Niggas always claim to say blood ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Oh, I live in the hood, ass nigga. Never got put on, always claiming the hood though. Oh, you fucking with the homegirl, but don't come to the hood with none of your damn homeboys. They don't get a pass. Had the little homies press they ass, where your tattoos? Hey, your mama waking up to some bad news. The plug saying groove, I'm a dime. I was long in the race, skinny nigga with the braid. Took a 2-man fade, I'm really from the hood. I took a fucking break to get my money right, but I was banging on the plane in the meeting with Jermaine. They like, poet, oh you bang? They forgot where I came from. I was gang banging when it wasn't fun. Homie doing life right now, cause we don't play the fun. You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to say blood ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. And that goes for these hoes too. Start fucking on niggas and throwing these niggas hood up. Ha, little dot dot. Heard you gave a homie head in the trap spot. Gotta throw away in the stash spot. Boy, you not real, like a Sasquatch. Boy, I'm so high, I'm seeing astronauts. Boy, I ball hard, I need a mascot. Oh, and Swahili, I'm a damu. My little cousin making paru. My nigga Uzi, he from Five Deuce. Pad blows, I be hanging with some real whoops. Gang signs out the window when we drive coupes. Making money with some crips like it's 92. Banging on tracks, banging on tracks. Back in my days, it was banging on. You ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. So, you ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to say blood ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood.
Fuck Chris Brown, nigga. Pull up in the hood right now, nigga. Catch your fade, nigga. Fuck, nigga. Frogs.
You ain't from the hood.
Damn, it say 0 people in the chat? I can't be. Wait a minute. Is this thing live? Hold on. Is this thing on? Okay, got some people up in here. What's up with it? Who we got up in here already? We got Sergeant Moe. Moe was the first person up in here. We got D. Was that Die Netta Die? You must hate somebody. Die Netta Die. Netta must be your baby mama. Tracy Wu. Troy Mafia. Who we got? Buck. That must be a damn Sergeant Moe. Troll. Cooler King up in the house. Andy Dillon, what's up? Slaphead always up in the house. What's up in here? I got a late show for y'all because I'm on the late coast. I don't know, most of y'all is on the East Coast, but I'm on the West Coast, so it's still early for me. First of all, let me get in these donations right quick. I didn't put the new donations up. So it's the same donation list for yesterday. Shout out to Larry McCray, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jeffrey. I don't think I got no new donation. I got to check and see. Troy, I got some super chats I got to put up. Jerry Chandler, I got to put up those super chats. Sharon Gold, Slaphead already in the building. Slaphead in the building right now. Tom always in the building, and executive producer Beth Robert. What's up with you, Slaphead? How you been doing, man? Hopefully you like this video. Anyway, right? This is some more comedy news, whatever you want to call it, information show that only you will get on this channel right here. Now, I was thinking to myself, sometimes I do think to myself, I even answer myself sometimes. I'm like, hey, Black Rose. I'm like, what? And like, and you make a video about Hillary Clinton? I like, for real? Like, yeah, it's time about do a Hillary Clinton video. Now, to me, remember when everybody was like, George Bush is going to war for his daddy. His daddy was fucking with bin Laden. It was a drug war going wrong and shit like that. Well, I kind of think the same thing, right? Now, it's certain, I kind of think Joe Biden instigated this war for his homegirl Hillary Clinton, right? Because if you listen to Hillary Clinton, it sounds like she really running this shit. It sounds like Hillary Clinton is really president on this shit. Now, Hillary Clinton and Vladimir Putin got a long-standing, right, of controversy, right? Emails and war talk and all kind of meetings and shit with Bill Clinton and stuff like that. They got a long history, right? Now, to me, I think Joe Biden is doing this shit for Hillary Clinton, right? And not just Hillary Clinton, also for himself. Because if you really look at it, who's supposed to have Hillary Clinton emails? Russia. Who's supposed to have some of Joe Biden emails? Russia. Who we going to war with? Russia. Right? Now remember, once upon a time when it wasn't supposed to be no war, right? And Vladimir and Zelensky and all them like, hey, it's not going to be no war. You know what I'm saying? So Biden, why don't you stop saying that? Joe Biden, like, oh yes, it's going to be a war. If they fit a raid, it was coming soon. And it's like, it's not going to be no war. Would you stop saying that? Ukrainian citizens going around minding their motherfucking business. Joe Biden instigated this shit. Now, I'm finna get into the story because I can show you, but I can tell you. I just got through editing this shit, so if it's some stuff out of place, it's not my fault. Bear with me. It'll probably be 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clips out of place, but it's not my fault because I have to hurry up and do it. Let's get into it. Is Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden instigating? I probably got to rename this damn video. Is Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden instigating the Ukraine war? Let me turn on my phone right quick, see if is they instigating the Ukraine war. Let's roll it. I gotta put it off. I gotta take it off of mute. That wood, I keep on forgetting. I gotta take it off mute. Take it off mute, homeboy. Oh, here we go. Take it off mute, homeboy.
Discussing this, that it is a difficult undertaking because we have a lot of business that we have to take care of, both around the world and here at home. Putin is the great disruptor.
Putin is the great disruptor of what? The New World Order? Remember, Putin ain't with the gay stuff. He ain't with the non-Christian devil worshiping stuff. He ain't with none of that. So how he ain't with the global economy stuff, the whole New World Order? He ain't with none of that. Him and President Xi, they not with none of that. But you see what she's saying. Putin is the great disruptor. He is. He disrupting our plan of global dominance. He is. He wrecking our plan of an economic global economy. He is. I'm glad he is.
He has a clear mission to undermine democracies, first and foremost, the United States.
So another country, obviously in the news right now, is Ukraine. Secretary Rice, when she was here last week, said that Ukraine is at risk of becoming known as a scandal rather than a country.
Ukraine is known as a scandal instead of a country. Remember the Democrats didn't like Ukraine? Remember when the Democrats used to always talk about Ukraine bad? Remember that? Ukraine is corrupt. Ukraine is a piece of shit. Remember that? Now all of a sudden they love Ukraine. But once upon a time, the Democrats didn't give a shit about Ukraine.
As President Biden has said, we are in a struggle between autocracy and democracy.
How do we refocus attention and energy not just on the role of Ukraine in the U.S.-Russian relationship, but the broader set of relationships we have in the region that are going to be needed to move towards a post-Putin Russia?
A post-Putin Russia. What do you mean a post-Putin Russia? Why are you talking to Hillary about a post-Putin Russia? Are Vladimir Putin plan on leaving anytime soon? Why is he on here talking about prepare for Ukraine and a post-Putin Russia? Huh? Are you going to overthrow Putin? Is that what you're talking about? Why else would you be talking about that? You know something we don't know? You see the subliminal message? Oh, God, how are we going to prepare for a post-Ukraine and a post-Vladimir Putin from Russia? Huh? Keep it rolling.
At some point in the future.
And I think that President Biden, number one, wants to make clear to Putin that Where there can be cooperation, we welcome that. On climate change, for example, I think.
Where there can be cooperation, we welcome that, right? Cooperation. What is cooperation? You abide by the rules we set for the global economy. You know what I'm saying? For all this global warming shit and all this old stuff, we set the rules. That's your cooperation, Vladimir Putin. Huh?
I think also on nuclear proliferation, on working in some way to get our arms around the threat posed by cyber and other issues.
Cyber and other issues. Remember, that's why they gotta navigate and neighborhood watch our social media, because they don't want Vladimir Putin, they don't want Russia, they don't want them tapping into our elections and tapping into our social media and tapping into our networks and influencing people to do shit with fake messages and bots and shit like that, right? That's what they're trying to say. That's what Hillary trying to say, right? And you see how all boys now, Barack was saying the same thing. They're tapping into our social media. They're tapping into our this. We need to watch this. We need to set it, right? It's not for them because they don't have anything on Vladimir Putin. It's not for Vladimir. It's for you.
To the U.S. Constitution.
Oh, let me turn this up. Let me turn this up. Let me turn this up. Why is this low? Why is all of this low? Oh, let me turn it up. Turn it up right there. Let it all.
Well,
here we go. Right here. We right here. Boom. Turn it up.
On working in some way to get our arms around the threat posed by cyber and other issues.
My oath of office is to the U.S. Constitution, not to any foreign nation. And no matter how sympathetic the cause, my oath of office is to the national security of the United States of America. We cannot save Ukraine by dooming the U.S. economy.
We cannot save Ukraine by dooming the U.S. economy. It's not about Ukraine. It's about Hillary Clinton. Look how she talking. Look how Hillary Clinton talked.
So, Chuck, I really agree with both what Secretary Blinken said, that we've got to continue to keep the pressure on Putin and the Russian troops. We cannot in any way pause our efforts.
Bitch, who is you, the colonel? We cannot let up on Vladimir Putin. We can't pause our efforts. This bitch acting like she the general. This bitch acting like she the president. I agree with her. You really, bitch, you the one set the rules. I agree with General such and such. We don't have to, we got to put the pressure on them. We can't let up on Vladimir Putin. Look how Hillary Clinton talking.
To support the Ukrainians.
This bill under consideration would spend $40 billion. This is the second spending bill for Ukraine in 2 months.
And I agree with Masha that we have to double down. There is more that can be done.
We got to double down on Putin. There's more that can be done. I'm going to punish him for them emails. I'm going to punish him for that election. I'm going to punish him for 2016. We're going to make sure we punish Vladimir Putin. We're going to cripple Vladimir Putin. Because we got to prepare for a post-Vladimir Putin, remember?
To increase pressure and stress, additional sanctions.
And this bill is 3 times.
Ooh, additional sanctions on Vladimir Putin. We got to increase the pressure with additional sanctions. Who behind the scenes running this shit? Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama? Why every time they say something about Biden come out and do exactly what the hell they say? We got to put pressure on them. We got to put more sanctions.
And this bill is 3 times larger than the first.
More in the way of lethal aid. And now that there has been a pushback, thanks to the brave Ukrainian military offensive action, there is time to resupply the Ukrainians so that they can continue to defend their country.
Resupply with how much? $60 billion, $40 billion? Huh? That's what Hillary Clinton say. Furnish their army, give them more money, refund the Ukraine army. Huh? That's what Hillary say. And Joe Biden would apply.
Our military aid to Ukraine is nothing new, though. Since 2014, the United States has provided more than $6 billion in security assistance to Ukraine.
Consider Russia's annexation of Crimea and further aggression in eastern Ukraine.
But he has to also make clear that Putin's strategy over the last 4 years of literally just ridiculing the United States, undermining us, allowing as well as overseeing attacks on our election structure, on our energy delivery system.
Where is the Democrats getting their ideas about all this Russian shit from? Hillary Clinton? Huh? They all echoing her words. The whole MSNBC, CNN, all of them echoing Hillary Clinton words about Russia and Vladimir Putin. Protect our individual intellectual independence and all that sort of shit. Protect our election. Protect this. Protect that. Huh? Our intellectual property. Russia doing this. Russia doing that. Russia cheating. Huh? Why do Hillary Clinton got Russia's name in her mouth so damn much?
In addition to the $14 billion Congress authorized just a month ago, if this bill passes, the U.S. will have authorized roughly $60 billion in total spending for Ukraine.
America has few economic interests in Ukraine.
And is there any hope of Joe Biden getting a deliverable that would make this summit worthwhile?
Is there any hope with Joe Biden getting something delivered, right, with Vladimir Putin in the summit? Watch what she say. She say the United States wanted 3 things: this, that, and that. We got all 3 of them, but we still can't trust Vladimir Putin. What? What do you mean? We got everything we wanted from Vladimir Putin, and we still can't trust him? That has to be frustrating for Vladimir Putin. Like, I gave you everything you wanted, and you still saying you can't trust me, and you still want more, and you still want me to obey? Watch how clear Hillary Clinton say this, right? We got what we want, but we still want more. How would you accept this?
Well, Joe, I think that's a critical question, and I believe the answer is yes. Obviously, we won't know until it's over. But when we tried to do the so-called reset, we had 3 very specific goals in mind. Number 1, we needed to enlist Russia in our efforts to try to put a lid on the Iranian nuclear program. We wanted a new nuclear treaty, the so-called New START agreement, and we wanted help in supplying our troops in Afghanistan by being able to do overflights of Russia. We got all 3 of those things.
Huh? You got all 3 of those things and you still want more? You got to fly your equipment over Afghanistan? We agreed to the arms deal? What more do you want me to do? What more you want? You want me to submit like a bitch? I gave you all 3 of your wishes. I made them my command. But why she say we still can't trust him? Even though we got everything from him, we still can't trust Vladimir Putin.
Things. Now, there is a continuing challenge from Putin, because even when you get an agreement about something that you think is in the interest of the United States.
You hear that? Even though you get a agreement from Vladimir Putin that's in the interest of the United States, meaning that's we won. I mean, Vladimir Putin let us win, right? But she said that's not good enough.
He's going to continue to prod, undermine, and literally try to make our lives difficult, as we know.
She's saying even though Vladimir Putin gave us what we want, he's still going to make our life difficult. How? And he's caving into our demands. He's agreeing to it. He's working with us. But she's like, no, he's still going to make our life a living hell. Vladimir Putin got to be like, bitch, I gave you what you want. What do you want from me? I can't just keep on obeying and then obeying and obeying and then making my country your country. It's got to be a stop. I gave you everything you want in the treaty. Now you want more. You greedy bitch.
We don't have, Trump being, in effect, a spokesperson for Putin any longer.
We don't have Trump. No, Trump was being a mediator. Trump wasn't going with all that Russian collusion. He wasn't concentrating all this shit on 2016. He was trying to work out a deal with Vladimir Putin. He had a friendship with Vladimir Putin. They have a talking with Vladimir Putin, right? It's no talking with Joe Biden. There's no phone calls with Joe Biden. There's no sitting down with Joe Biden. Joe Biden can't tell Vladimir Putin what the fuck to do, but Donald Trump did.
We have a president who will stand up and defend American interests.
President Biden had to rebuild trust and confidence in NATO, in the United States. None of this that he has now engineered to respond would have been possible in the prior administration. In fact,
so you see what she's saying? None of this would have been possible, all this NATO stuff, because Donald Trump was making NATO give up the money. All this old unity shit. Donald Trump didn't give a damn about no unity because they were trying to use America. But Hillary Clinton like, oh, Joe Biden is going to reconfirm our friendship with NATO. What is Vladimir Putin tripping on? What is Vladimir number one beef? Right? It's not Ukraine. It's not Crimea. Right? It's not the United States. It's not weapons. It's NATO taking over territory. That's his number one thing. And you see her, oh, Joe Biden, oh, he's going to get back friendly with NATO.
I'm not even sure that the prior administration would have cared enough to ask. And so this is a rebuilding of our credibility, of our leverage.
And Russian President Vladimir Putin this morning is calling Hillary Clinton weak and ungraceful.
Weak bitch. You weak and ungraceful. Huh? Vladimir Putin know Hillary Clinton like a book.
French reporters asked him about the former Secretary of State. In March, Clinton compared Russia's takeover of Crimea to Adolf Hitler's expansion of Germany.
She called Vladimir Putin Adolf Hitler. Right? She compared him to a murderous dictator. I mean, they probably is the same person, but it's not for her to say that on the news, especially, you know what I'm saying, I'm a world leader, right? You ain't supposed to call me no motherfucking terrorist and say I'm a fucking Hitler. Huh? You compare me to the worst son of a bitch in the world. You compare me to the devil. Huh? But you see how Hillary Clinton talking about him? Like, you disgraceful, you disloyal, disgraceful, unappreciative little hoe.
Putin said, quote, "It's better not to argue with women, but Ms. Clinton has never been too graceful. When people push boundaries too far, it's not because they are strong, but because they are weak. But maybe weakness is not the worst quality for a woman."
You better not say that, Vladimir Putin, before you get cancel cultured. Oh, matter of fact, Vladimir Putin can't get cancel cultured. He's not in the United States. Talking about, they would have said I was a womanizer in the United States. He's a womanizer. Talking about a woman is weak and they got weak quality. He's a womanizer. No, bitch, I'm Vladimir Putin.
Well, I'm thinking, I guess his mom never told him, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say
anything at all.
For those who say this is not enough, for those of you in this chamber who say that our military spending is never enough, let's put $60 billion into perspective. According to Elias Youssef, a security assistant at the Stimson Center, Kiev would become the largest yearly recipient of U.S. military aid of the past 2 decades.
How is it that, think about this, right? How is it that Ukraine fit become the second largest funded military as far as financial, and Afghanistan is the number one funded military as far as equipment? Think about it. We left all the equipment in Afghanistan. Now they're the number one funded, right? As far as the equipment and stuff, they got tanks and machine guns and helicopters and planes and all kind of shit. They number one with all this shit. They're number two with all this shit over there. They got damn near more shit than Russia, right? Now we finna give Ukraine more money than damn near any other nation, right, in the world. One more equipment than any other nation, and one more money than any other in the nation. Wow.
Except for the top 5 countries, $60 billion is more than every other country in the world spends on their entire military expenditures. If this gift to Ukraine passes, our total aid to Ukraine will almost equal the entire military budget of Russia.
The entire military budget of Russia. We finna just give them like, here you go. Here go your $60 million. And it's gonna be more than that in a couple of months. Here go your $60 million. And we just get, and here go your tanks and helicopters and weapons and night vision goggles and all that shit in Afghanistan. We're giving away billions.
And it's not as if we have that money lying around. We will have to borrow that money from China to send it to Ukraine.
We got to borrow money from China to send to Ukraine. right? What was Vladimir Putin number one thing, right? Number one beef, NATO. What Zelensky dumbass get up here and say about NATO, right? What did Zelensky say in front of the world when Vladimir Putin say you can't join NATO? It's a no-no. It's a no-no. That's one of my demands. I've been saying that shit since George Bush. It's a no-no. And what Zelensky ass get up here and do?
Regarding the future alliance, our aspirations and missions, you know them perfectly well. We have some desire in our country, and in addition to this, we have a war in the East. Yes, we would like to join NATO.
Yes, we would like to join NATO. You don't think Vladimir Putin heard that? Huh? When Joe Biden didn't deny him of joining NATO, you think Vladimir Putin didn't hear that? Vladimir Putin heard all of that. You want to join NATO and I told you don't? Okay, let's surround the border. You still want to join NATO?
Another Putin red line, Ukraine. Last week, Putin issued a new warning on state TV that Ukraine's joining NATO was unacceptable because it could host U.S. missiles.
There ever be a time where...
Huh? Ukraine is a no-no. What Zelensky get up there and say, I want to join NATO? Huh? What Biden get up there and say, yes, you can. We're gonna check you out. We're gonna put an application in for you, huh? You have proved your worth.
An opportunity for Ukraine to be a part of NATO.
Well, look, actually, the NATO treaty itself holds the answer to your question, and what the treaty says in Article 10, and this is, of course, a treaty that was agreed originally all the way back in 1949, is that any European state that aspires to be a member of the alliance is eligible if it meets certain criteria.
Like Finland and Sweden, the two biggest European countries on the northern border, huh? Sweden and Finland just joined NATO.
The challenge right now is that Ukraine does not meet those criteria. And the criteria that's most problematic today for Ukraine is the political criteria that all the current members of the alliance, so the current 30 members, the 30 NATO allies, must all agree on Ukrainian membership so that things can change. And certainly the Ukrainian people, the Ukrainian nation, are proving that they can defend themselves.
And that membership to NATO is something, of course, that Russian President Vladimir Putin is trying to prevent. Ambassador Doug Lute, thank you so much for your time tonight. We appreciate it.
If Ukraine becomes a NATO member, the flight to Moscow goes down to 7 to 10 minutes. In order to shorten the time for us to 7 to 10 minutes, we'd have to put rockets on the Canadian or Mexican border.
That's how close they would be to Russia if they get Ukraine. Huh?
Biden also addressed Ukraine's...
Look. Remember, think about this, right? Vladimir Putin say he ain't tripping on Ukraine. Zelensky got up there and said he want to join NATO, right? Then you got Joe Biden saying, we finna go to war. Who's that sent me a donation? Keep spitting the truth, Black. You damn right, Cooler King. I don't keep on spitting the truth. We got you. Good looking out, Cooler King. You keep sending me donations. That's why I keep doing these shows. The more donations I get, the more shows. I'm gonna keep them coming, Cooler King. Right? But trip this out, Cooler King. You got Hillary Clinton claiming the interference, right? You got Joe Biden. You got Zelensky saying he want to join NATO, right? You got Vladimir Putin saying you can't join NATO. You got Biden didn't say nothing, right? Months before Vladimir Putin even invaded, Joe Biden is talking about Vladimir Putin is fit to invade, and he started sending weapons to Ukraine, right? He started sending weapons to Ukraine. Vladimir Putin said, hey, stop sending weapons to Ukraine. He didn't stop. So they entered. Ukraine wasn't even worried about a war. Russia wasn't even worried about a war. Watch how Biden set this up.
Recent criticism over Washington's decision to evacuate some American citizens.
There is a distinct possibility Russia might invade Ukraine next month. The US president made the comments in a telephone conversation.
There's a distinct possibility Russia might invade Ukraine next month. That's what he said on a phone call to Zelensky, right? Hey, you know Russia might invade next month. He telling Zelensky this. Zelensky not telling him. He telling Zelensky this. How you know him before Zelensky?
With Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky
saying the US embassy in Kiev remains open and fully operational.
During their talk, President Biden reaffirmed the readiness of the United States, along with its allies and partners, to respond decisively if Russia further invades Ukraine.
We stand firm, right? Russia fit invade. We stand firm with you, right? Vladimir Zelensky, like, I didn't know they would fit invade. When did this shit happen? Then Joe Biden denied the call. I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that.
President Zelensky thanked Joe Biden on Twitter for the supply of weapons from the United States. U.S. media reported a senior Ukrainian official claiming that Biden told Zelensky to prepare for impact and said that a Russian invasion was virtually certain.
Prepare for impact, Zelensky. Russia invasion is certain. Biden is telling Zelensky this.
The White House, though, was quick to dismiss those claims.
Oh, we dismiss them. Why is all over all these news sources in the other countries? You told them to be prepared for war. You told us. You was on, it's going to happen after the Olympics. It's going to happen here. It's going to happen there. You was telling us for months it's going to happen. Zelensky, like, I didn't know it was going to happen.
The U.S. is calling for an open meeting of the UN Security Council on Monday to discuss the crisis. America has also urged China to use its influence with Russia and discourage an invasion.
China has had a tremendous corruption problem. Somehow they were involved in a lot of different things that took place in our country, and hopefully it can be straightened out.
Did you tell the Ukrainian leader that they would have the aid only if they investigated Joe Biden and his family?
No, I didn't. I didn't do it.
But
Joe Biden said it about his son.
Joe Biden gave the quid pro quo, right, to Ukraine. Ukraine, right, was corrupt, right? Ukraine been corrupt, right? Ukraine been corrupt. Biden knew this, right? Why do you think Hunter Biden has something to do with Ukraine? Biden knew this. Biden knew that the whole country was corrupt. Why do you think he took Hunter with him? He knew it. He knew Hunter can get the job because the whole country was corrupt. You pay him off. The whole country knew the whole country was corrupt. They know it. They self. They admit it.
Joe Biden was very dishonest what he did.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees.
That call was a great call. It was a perfect call. A perfect call. What wasn't perfect is the horrible thing that Joe Biden said. And now he made a lie when he said he never spoke to his son. I mean, give me a break. He's already said he spoke to his son. And now he said yesterday very firmly, who wouldn't speak to your son? Of course you spoke to your son.
I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee.
What he did is he said, if they don't do this or that and get rid of a certain prosecutor, Joe Biden said it.
Joe Biden said, well, I'm saying thank you to Sean Collette for the donation. I'm going to keep it up, Sean. Here's a little something extra for you keeping up the fight. Good looking out. Keep it up, Sean. Good looking out on the donation.
And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't.
But because you're a faker, you in particular, you're a fake news group of people, you don't want to report that. I didn't do it.
So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion.
And I hope you're going to be able to see a call, because I didn't do it. Everybody's looking for that call. And keep going the way you do it, because when you see the call, you're going to be very surprised.
We didn't see.
I think
we didn't see none of Joe Biden calls. He won't release none of his shit, right? He won't release none of his shit. Trump like, I'll be glad when you see it. I'm going to let you see the call because I ain't got nothing to hide, right? Now, that's called transparency. Joe Biden called himself the most transparent administration ever. And Barack Obama said he was the same. He was the most transparent, right? You got two of the Democratic presidents talking about they the most transparent and they was hiding more shit than anybody. More secrets, more spies, more FBI's investigations, more than anybody. Huh? They never released no phone call. You got Zelensky coming up here and say, hey, I don't feel no pressure from nobody. Huh? But the Democrats said he was pressure. He lied for Donald Trump.
I think you read everything. So I think you read text. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be involved to democratic, open elections of USA.
Huh? I don't want to be involved in the elections of USA. I don't want to be involved in that shit, right? Zelensky telling you this. You saw the phone call. You saw the text, right? You read the transcripts. I don't want to be involved in none of that democracy shit in the United States. Leave me the fuck up out of it.
Vintoniev says the Ukrainian president's handling of the calls with President Trump and the alleged pressure campaign comes down to his unfamiliarity with politics.
Wait, let me see my unfamiliarity with M-Dub. I can't pass it to you from the East Coast, but pause for the cause for the man. Cheers, my man. Hold on, from the East Coast? Nigga, it's late in the East Coast. I'm glad you stuck up late to see your boy M-Dub on the East Coast. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. You know what I'm saying? It's a Saturday night. Good looking out for stand up with your boy M-Dub.
Це мій страх. This is my fear about.
Right? This dude saying Zelensky is basically a bitch, right? My fear is that the phone call and all this old stuff and Donald Trump is going to pressure him and all this old stuff. He's saying President Zelensky is a bitch.
The Zelensky and his experience. They are managers. They are not politicians. They
said Zelensky is not a politician. He a manager.
They are managers.
No, but Joe Biden, let me just be quiet. Joe Biden is the one that did a very, very bad thing when he said that.
They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said, I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion.
And I think it was $1.2 billion he wasn't going to give unless they got rid of a prosecutor who was investigating his son.
I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money.
And the company that his son works for. Then you also say, how much money did his son make from the Ukraine? And then ask another question, how much money did his son make from China based on energy? He knows nothing about energy. So what?
Energy, right? Remember, I just done a show on free energy, right? And energy is fit to go out of business in a lot of different places, right? I mean, far as, gas and all the energy that Hunter Biden was involved in, right? That shit fit to go out of business, right? Even the plant that he was in went out of business. But Ukraine was so corrupt at the time. Remember, the dude who was working with Hunter Biden was getting investigated. The investigation went to his investigation firm. He dropped his own case and walked away scot-free. Huh? You can't do that shit in the United States. That's how corrupt Ukraine is. You can buy your own case. Oops.
Why did he leave China? Why did he leave Ukraine with all this money? So Joe Biden was very dishonest. Now, when you see the call, if you see it, and I hope you see it, frankly, you will find out that I did not do that at all.
Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
And I will say, the new president, we had a very good talk. The new president got elected based on the fact that he would end corruption. That was probably his number one thing.
Mr. President Zelensky, do you have
types of corruption?
In corruption, right? Remember, Ukraine was one of the most corrupt countries in the world, right? When did they stop being corrupt? I mean, Zelensky done his job and stuff like that, but we don't know when they stopped being corrupt because they've been corrupt for so fucking long. When did they stop being corrupt?
because weak institutions created parallel realities in Ukraine.
Osadchuk says Americans view corruption differently, as an abuse of power, versus Ukrainians, who more often equate corruption with kickbacks and bribes.
Ukraine is different with corruption, kickbacks and bribes for power. We do more with corruption. That's why they were trying to blame Donald Trump, saying Donald Trump is corrupt. He done this. He uses power, and he done the quid pro quo and all this old stuff. Oh shit, it's corruption over here, right? There's just kickbacks, payoffs. What did Hunter Biden do? Kickbacks, payoffs. He wasn't going over there for no political power. He was going over there for the kickbacks and the payoffs. That's corruption in Ukraine.
That being said, what I want is, we're giving a lot of money away to Ukraine and other places. You want to see a country that's going to be not corrupt. The president is a good man. He got elected on the fact that he was going to get rid of corruption in Ukraine.
Osadchuk.
That's why he was That's why the investigator was investigating crackhead ass Hunter Biden in that damn gas firm. Get rid of the corruption in Ukraine, because the only way you can get funding, right, or the only way you can get any money, right, is getting rid of the corruption in Ukraine. Because if you give the politicians the money and they corrupt, they're going to fuck it over. They're going to use it, they're going to put it in their pocket. You got to make sure the politicians is not corrupt. And this dude right here said all the politicians are corrupt because all of them gangsters. They pay their way into being politicians.
Chuck says Parliament has already made some successful strides, like nearly ending parliamentary immunity, where if a member committed a crime, police needed to go to Parliament for permission to arrest them.
Think about this. If somebody committed a crime, you have to go to the Parliament to arrest them. Who was the Parliament?
I think the primary reason he got elected. So he gets elected on the basis of ending corruption in Ukraine.
And because of this, a lot of businessmen, a lot of gangsters, they were looking for the mandate of the member of the parliament, not to be a politician or lawmaker, just to receive this special immunity and special untouchable status.
Special immunity and special untouchable status. Right? That's what the politicians, that's what the gangsters do over there. They pay the politicians. You want Donald Trump to give them some money? You don't think Hunter Biden got money out of Ukraine? When you pay for everything you want? Why you get an oil job in the most corrupt country in the fucking world? One of the most corrupt countries in the world as far as money is concerned. You couldn't get it nowhere else in the world. You couldn't start in the United States. You couldn't get one in China, any other way, in Ukraine. You got it in Ukraine.
Recently, as 2018, Transparency International ranked Ukraine the 60th most corrupt country in the world.
Well, I think that's good, and that's what I want to see. But when Biden does a thing like that, then there's still corruption, and that's not good.
What is good? Who was that? Who was that? Epstein Ghost? Black, a little something for the great content. Cheers, my brother. Good looking out, Epstein Ghost. Epstein, you get Epstein up in here.
These days, the corruption in Ukraine is all over the news. International organizations and banks consistently rank Ukraine among the most corrupt countries in the world. But for Ukrainians, corruption isn't new. It's old. And it's not just among the bigwigs and businessmen. It's kind of everywhere. And your average Ukrainian is remarkably open about it.
The average Ukrainian is open about corruption because it's everywhere. Right? When did corruption stop in Ukraine? You got the Azov Nazis over there, right? They got their own battalion over there. You got Nazis over there with swastika tattoos, right? Then you got corrupt politicians. You got corrupt police. You even got corrupt people. When did Ukraine stop being corrupt?
Last year, Transparency International placed Ukraine 120 out of 180 countries on its Corruption Perception Index. For a long time, economic scarcity, top-down control of the economy, combined with a lack of transparency, meant that getting anything done required what some Ukrainians call giving a grunt. He's a typical Soviet prosecutor.
Yes.
What does that mean exactly?
That means that the power and the wealth are not distinguished, are not separate.
So they're tolerant of it?
Yes, there was this level of tolerance as long as there is, some visible leftovers for the rest of the country.
Growing up in Ukraine.
Rest of the country, right? The whole country is corrupt. Stores corrupt. Every school's corrupt. The whole country is corrupt. In order to get funded, in order to do what we need to do over there, we need to make sure they're not corrupt. When has Ukraine stopped being corrupt?
Ukraine, she says students and parents bribed teachers for grades, families bribed doctors to get the care they need. Even job applicants had to pay off recruiters.
A few years ago, Nadia Kolyemets' diabetic father refused to bribe doctors in a government hospital to treat a wound on his leg. They refused to help him. Eventually, he got gangrene, and his leg had to be amputated.
Huh? You don't pay corruption over there. You won't even see the doctor. Huh? You can pay for your grades. What? You can pay for anything over there. It's corrupt.
So it wasn't much of a leap for Ukrainians to see how their politicians and judges could be bribed too.
In a way, corruption is almost part of the culture.
Ukrainians have this, you can call it post-Soviet or maybe some other word, attitude where okay, top politicians can steal money, but if we get something still in the end, it's okay.
Huh? The politicians steal money, but if we get something at the end, it's okay. They know the politicians are stealing money. When did Ukraine stop being corrupt?
The judge would be appointed by the president for the first 5 years and only after that for the lifetime by the parliament. That that you can lose this position or you was appointed because of that person, you listen to the demands or recommendation that that person gives you.
You listen to the demand. Whoever hired you, you got to listen to that demand, right? And gangsters hire you in Ukraine. People who steal money. People who work with Hunter Biden, right? Hello, my name is Olam. I'm Ukrainian. I face corruption.
Мене звати Олег, я громадянин України, і я в своєму житті стикнувся з корупцією. Тобто я
I gave a bribe of $1,300 to avoid the army. You can pay to avoid the army in Ukraine.
Платив хабар у розмірі $1,300 для того, щоб не піти в АК.
Both Shiba and newly elected member of parliament Andriy Osadchuk say it's this kind of corruption, Ukraine as a blackmail state, that has held the country back.
Ukraine as a blackmail state, huh? You can pay to get out of the army. You can pay to go to work. You can pay whatever she finna do. You can pay for all this shit in Ukraine. You can't do that in no country that's not corrupt.
10 років тому я ще студент.
10 years ago I worked in the ministry.
Будучи працювала в міністерстві. І от коли купа була дуже
I had a pile of paper was too huge. I was
велика, мене попросили, запропонували.
Proposing to move the bottom folder to the top.
З нижньої папки перекласти наверх, щоб міністр розглянув швидше.
Just for the ministry to see it more quickly.
І вирішилось питання швидше. Я це зробила і отримала
I did that and got $800. She said I took a bribe. Huh? I was propositioned, you know what I'm saying, to put her, the one at the bottom, at the top. He gave me $800. I openly took a bribe. I'm corrupt.
Компенсацію $800.
Давав хабар.
I gave bribes to road police several times.
Дорожній поліції декілька разів. Вчора я заплатив хабар.
Yesterday, he said, nigga, yesterday I gave a bribe. Yesterday, nigga, I just gave a bribe yesterday. You talking about corruption, nigga? I just gave a bribe yesterday to nigga to get out of work. What, nigga? Huh? Yesterday.
За навчання, тому що потрібно працювати 7 днів на тиждень і немає змоги відвідувати навчальний заклад. Було
I paid $200. That's the normal price in universities. Huh? I only paid $200. Huh? To ditch school and go to work. I need to go to work. I couldn't go to school. So I ditched it.
Заплачено $200. В принципі, звичайна ціна за хабар в навчальних закладах.
The aftermath of a day.
When did Ukraine stop being corrupt? The people saying they corrupt. The system, the school, the universities, the jobs, the people, the police.
Deadly bus explosion in eastern Ukraine Wednesday. The country's ongoing civil war, a violent backdrop for another crisis that's threatening its future.
The two wars that Ukraine now is facing is the war on the Eastern Front, but also a bigger war it's also facing is the war on corruption.
War on corruption. When did Ukraine stop being corrupt? Joe Biden went over there. He was the head of corruption. Remember that? When did he do this in corruption? He went over there talking about one prosecutor. Think about this. They saying the police is corrupt. They saying politicians corrupt. They saying the universities corrupt. They saying everybody corrupt. Joe Biden went over there and said, I'm going to give you a quid pro quo if you fire one prosecutor. Look how many people they say corrupt in Ukraine. Right? And the Ukrainian citizens saying this. Joe Biden went over there to end corruption, and and it all was based on him firing one prosecutor. Not the whole person he worked for, not the firm, right? Not whoever was in charge of the department or whatever, right? He didn't ask for the investigation to end corruption over there, right? Joe Biden went over there and fired one person. That's it.
The corruption that's eating away the cancer at the economy. And, Kyiv can do much more and quicker, tangible results to show that it's fighting the war on corruption.
The war on corruption matters to Andy Hunder. His job as head of the American Chamber of Commerce in Kiev is to advocate for a better business environment in Ukraine. Just like the IMF, he believes Kiev is not doing enough.
Kyiv is not doing enough. Remember, Joe Biden went over there to talk about corruption a couple of times. But they said Kyiv is not doing enough. They're still taking bribes. Gangsters still run the parliament. But Joe Biden and the corruption and the $1 billion was based on him firing one person. You think that'll work in court?
And it's splintering an already fractured government.
It's a crisis of trust. It's a crisis of basically values.
A key reformer, the economy minister, resigning last week.
Resigning for corruption.
He said his efforts to push through economic reforms were being stifled by corruption.
I think we are in a pretty difficult situation. Yet I believed a week ago, and I still believe now, that we are either 2 steps away from a breakthrough or 2 steps away from a breakdown.
We don't know. I quit. Everybody in this motherfucker corrupt. They gangsters paid for.
Ukraine can't afford not to tackle corruption. In December, Kiev defaulted on a $3 billion loan from Russia. Moscow has now threatened legal action.
You defaulted on the $3 billion loan from Russia? You just got $1 billion from Joe Biden. You got another $3 billion from Russia, and you defaulted on their money? You still owe Russia money, nigga. You still owe us $3 billion. I bet you didn't know that. I bet you didn't know Ukraine owed Russia $3 billion that they defaulted on. Say, we ain't going to pay you. What you mean you ain't going to pay us? We would go borrow some money for the United States. Joe Biden said, we'll give it to you if you fire that one prosecutor that's corrupting your whole country. You mean to tell me, Joe Biden, one prosecutor is corrupting their whole fucking country? Do that even make sense? No.
For a government where brawls in parliament have become commonplace, any rebound will require unity.
Today,
see, them is gangsters out there. Them not the regular politicians. Them is gangsters out there. They fighting for power. They probably from different gangs. That's like my mother in the Bloods out there, and her homeboys. That's how it'd be if they was in politics, huh? Corrupt. Ukraine is corrupt.
Today, Ukraine's president met in Paris for the first time with Russia's president, Vladimir Putin.
Remember when Vladimir Putin and Zelensky was getting along and stuff like that? And remember when Donald Trump was in office and Donald Trump had them meeting with each other and kumbaya and shit like that and giving them props and stuff? What happened to that? When Joe Biden got in office, all that shit ended. Think about it. All this shit ended when Joe Biden got in office. And motherfucker got talking about NATO. Zelensky ain't never said no NATO shit in front of Donald Trump. He ain't never said no NATO shit. I want to join NATO in front of Donald Trump. Everything happened when Joe Biden had in office. Everybody was kumbaya.
The last fairly short period of time, you've really made some progress with Russia. I hear a lot of progress has been made.
You really made some progress with Russia. What happened to that progress? What happened to the progress? You really made some progress with Russia. Y'all was talking and everything. What happened, Zelensky?
Both sides are agreeing tonight to pursue a ceasefire in a war that's killed 14,000 people.
And just keep it going. It'd be nice to end that whole disaster.
Keep it going. Keep up the peace talks. Zelensky like, yeah, keep it going. He told, Donald Trump told Zelensky, hey, it's cool, talk to him. And he told Vladimir Putin, you better not do shit. You're not going in there. Huh? He was cool with Zelensky. He didn't need to send Zelensky no weapons or no shit like that. He didn't need to send Zelensky no defense fund because, like Donald Trump said, Vladimir Putin is not going up in there under my watch. I don't need to send him no money. We need to talk about this corruption. Ain't gonna be no war under Donald Trump. So let's get on this with this corruption and this Joe Biden shit. Huh? It's no war. I stopped all that shit. Y'all making progress under Donald Trump. What happened?
In the company of veteran European politicians and Russia's ex-KGB spy master president, Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelensky, was clearly a novice. In fact, it was President Putin who reminded him to face the cameras.
Putin like, hey man, look at the camera and take your photo. Huh? Putin, he was like Putin's little brother. Like, come on, man, go ahead and take the picture. Come on, you know? He was like Putin's little brother. You see him smiling and shit? Remember, he done a show in front of Putin at Russia Got Talent or something. He performed in front of Vladimir Putin. Huh? Do Vladimir Putin like he wanted to tear his head off? They making progress. Do he look scared, nervous? They making progress. What happened?
This is a high-profile summit, and as expected, there was no diplomatic breakthrough. But it was also political theater, everyone watching to see if Zelensky would blink in the face of Russian pressure.
We want to see if Zelensky blink. They was all spying on him. They all tried to control him. France, Russia. But guess who wasn't there? The United States. Germany was there, but the United States wasn't there. You want to know why? Because of the phone call.
Relations have been poisonous since Russia seized the Ukrainian territory of Crimea in 2014 and then sent weapons to Ukrainian separatists. The U.S. sided with Kiev against Moscow and sent military aid to the Ukrainian army.
Huh? We sided against Moscow and sent aid to Ukrainian army. We took our sides.
Very aid that's now central in the impeachment hearings. Ultimately,
that Donald Trump sent. Not no damn blankets.
The Kremlin wants to expand its influence in Ukraine, but crowds of angry Ukrainians have made it crystal clear they won't have it.
Wait a minute. Wait. Did you see them flags? You say Ukrainians say they won't have it, right? Ukrainians say they won't have it. But if you look in the crowd, right, all these are Nazi flags. All them the Azov soldier flags. These are Nazi flags right here. What do you mean? This is a Nazi meeting. I done a show on this Azov army shit. This is their symbol, the blue and the yellow. This is a Nazi. They holding up Nazi signs. When did Ukraine start being corrupt?
President Zelensky came here to Paris vowing that he would face down Russia, but he sure could have used some visible support from his most powerful ally, the United States. However, fallout from that now notorious phone call left him looking very much alone.
Huh? Donald Trump would have been there if he wasn't facing an impeachment. Donald Trump would have been there, backing Zelensky up, being mediator. But he couldn't because he was facing an impeachment trial. Huh? Oh, Zelensky could have used the support right now, but he couldn't because of the phone call. Huh? See how the Democrats do? See how the Democrats set that up?
And while Ukrainians have been fighting very real battles against corruption for the better part of a decade, and as they were beginning to see the tide turn, the country found itself in the middle of a presidential scandal in the United States.
Huh? The phone call. Just when Ukraine getting their shit, the phone call, right? The phone call disrupted everything with, you know what I'm saying? Everything with Vladimir Putin and everything, right? Especially after Joe Biden got in, it really started fucking up. But they stopped. They stopped Donald Trump from making Russia. From bringing Russia and Ukraine together with the phone call and blaming Russia for this and Ukraine for that, huh? The Democrats separated Russia and Ukraine with the phone call. Remember, Russia and Ukraine stopped talking after the phone call.
White House has now released a memo between President Trump and President Zelensky.
The transcript of the first phone call.
Sir, you can authorize release the transcript. Will you do that?
I can do it very easily, but I'd rather not do it from the standpoint of all of the other conversations I have.
No, you heard that we had, I think, good phone call. It was normal. We spoke about many things, and so I think, and you read it, that nobody pushed it.
Huh? Nobody pushed me. Huh? But the Democrats said he did. They even had an impeachment trial, said he did. Huh? That person who's supposed to be the victim said, hey, he didn't push me. I didn't feel no threat, right? Set it up like a man. But the Democrats, right, impeached Donald Trump with the phone call, which made him kidding back Zelensky with Vladimir Putin, right? Then blame Vladimir Putin, you know what I'm saying, and Donald Trump are conspiring, right? And Vladimir Putin is this. And I mean, the Democrats totally separate that whole relationship. They was working together.
Pushed me, yes.
In other words, no pressure. I may do it because it was a very innocent call on both his part and mine. We had a very nice call. It was really a congratulatory call because he had just won. It was just confirmed, and he's the new president, and I think he's going to do an excellent job.
And he did do an excellent job. Donald Trump called it out. He knew Zelensky wasn't corrupt, but the Democrats thought he was. Remember, they was saying that before Zelensky done this war shit, how they was still gonna hold the money. They wasn't giving Zelensky no money for no damn war, right? Or no funds or no loans or no loan guarantees, no shit like that. They was asking for loan guarantees way before they was asking money for war. If you go back, remember that Zelensky then was asking for aid. Hey, we need aid, Joe Biden. We need this, we need that, right? Just like he was asking Donald Trump for aid, right? Loan guarantees, right? Loan guarantees is different from aid, right? But you didn't get them loan guarantees. You didn't get them loan guarantees. They got them aids for war. 60, 40, $30 billion.
President Trump, because you know what? There was no pressure. And you know there was, and by the way, you know there was no pressure. All you have to do is see it, what went on the call. But you know that. But you could ask the question, and I appreciate the answer. Go ahead. But remember, he got elected on the basis of the biggest part was corruption. I gave you anti-tank busters that, frankly, President Obama was sending you pillows and sheets. the person said, but they're already in Ukraine.
Right? And think about this, right? How Zelensky and Donald Trump fit to break it down, because Zelensky won't help taking back Crimea. And Donald Trump blows him off in front of everybody and basically said, oh, yeah, okay, basically, yeah. But Donald Trump was never going to holler at Vladimir Putin about Crimea, because he would have went to war. Vladimir Putin would have went to war for Crimea, much as he done for Crimea, and much as the people want to be part of Russia, right? They didn't want to be part of Ukraine because they figured Ukraine was corrupt. They want to be part of Russia. They feel Russia is a little less corrupt than Ukraine, right? So they talking all the Crimea shit. The only people that didn't want Crimea to be from Russia is the United States. Crimea wanted to be from Russia, right? The people they took a vote and wanted to be from Russia. The only person to say you can't was the United States.
I said, yeah, well, that was 2 years ago. That's. I mean, you want to go back? You want to have World War III to get it back?
You want to have World War III to get Crimea back? That wasn't under me. I'm not taking responsibility for Crimea. Do you want to have World War III to get it back? Because Vladimir Putin won't Crimea.
That was during Obama's watch.
The price of oil has pretty much stayed.
And when he took Crimea, this is what they done for the United States and Barack Obama. They crippled the economy just like they doing right now over Ukraine, right? They finding reasons to cripple Russia. Oh, we're going to cripple you over Crimea. Why? Crimea want to be from Russia. Why you want to cripple me and hold these sanctions over me? Because Crimea want to come back to Russia and don't want to be part of Ukraine. Why you want to sanction me? And the world sanction me. Look how low they go. They hit them with the sanctions, and look how much it cost the Russian economy then, just like it's costing them now.
Put at $50 ever since, and as you can imagine, that's had a pretty big impact on Russia. Half a decade later, and only now is the Russian economy starting to climb back to its pre-expansionist heights. Over the past 5 years, estimates say that Russia lost 4% of its GDP due to the price of oil. In the meantime, the sanctions of the West have also bitten deep into the Russian economy. Foreign investment practically dried up overnight in 2014, and it's still very far from recovering. The combined effect of the sanctions chopped off another 6% of Russia's GDP. So it's fair to say that Russia effectively sacrificed 10% of its economic output to take Crimea.
Russia sacrificed 10% of its GDP to take Crimea with all the sanctions. You think they finna get that shit up? Just say, you can take it back after we suffered to get this motherfucker? Nigga, please.
That was on his watch, not on my watch. You know, people like to say, oh, Crimea.
My priority is to stop the war on Donbass and to get back our territories, Crimea, Donbass.
You see him? To get back our territory, Crimea and Donbass, right? Vladimir Putin ain't fucking with you, and the Crimea people not fucking with you either.
Blessed by nature, beset with contention. This is Crimea. It's 3 years since Russia annexed the peninsula from Ukraine, pushing east and west into a new Cold War. Today, Moscow is cementing its presence with a bridge that will bind Crimea to the Russian mainland.
The United States helps Ukraine, but I think that other countries should help Ukraine.
You heard me say, look, Vladimir, but Zelensky like, hey, we need some help. Donald Trump like, okay, yeah, we can help you, but I think that other countries should help you. I don't think we should be helping you that much. Let me rewind that. I like that. I think the other countries should be helping you a little bit more than we helping you. The United States will help you, but I think the other country should be helping you, right? We need help with getting back Crimea and Donbass. Well, United States can help you, but I think that other countries should help you a little bit more than us. Donald Trump blew this nigga off.
The United States helps Ukraine, but I think that other countries should help Ukraine much more than they're doing. Germany, France, the European Union nations. They really should help you a lot more.
With its
That's what I'm like, hey, why you putting that shit on us? Let these motherfuckers help you. If a nuclear shit go off, it's going to affect them a little bit more than it affect us. Why don't they help you? We going to help you. Hey, can you help us take back Crimea? Hell no. We're not going to help you take back Crimea. For what? We're not helping you take that shit back. Did you know with Vladimir Putin, this nigga building bridges? Huh? He put money. He lost 10% of his GDP trying to take Crimea. You think he finna get that shit back to me? Because I'm Donald Trump, I may be crazy, but I ain't fucking dumb. Huh? I'm not finna push his button and say, hey, Vladimir Putin, I'm finna help Ukraine get back Crimea. Vladimir Putin like, nigga, I wish you would. We partners, but nigga, you crossing the line. Crimea wants to be with me. And Donald Trump knew it.
With its military, too, Russia's moved its most powerful weapons here. And wherever you go in Crimea, you're left in no doubt who's in charge.
With half the ballots counted, 95.5% of Crimea residents voted to break away from Ukraine, according to local officials.
95% of Ukraine want to break away from, 95% of Crimea want to break away from Ukraine. 95%? Right? So why is Ukraine talking about they want Crimea back? Why is the United States talking about Russia stole Crimea if 95%, right, of the people want to be with Ukraine because they say, with Russia because they said Ukraine was corrupt, right? You gonna tell them who they can be with? I thought it was a democracy. You gonna tell them what the fuck they can do? Oh, you can't just leave Ukraine like that. You got to go back. We voted 95%. So Vladimir Putin went over there and saved his people. If it's 95% of the election, nigga, that's a democracy.
Ну, сегодня, как у всех севастопольцев, ощущение праздника.
Today, every resident, whatever that is celebrating. And Sevastopol is celebrating. Why is they celebrating? This is a celebration of being reunited with our true motherland, Russia. Right? They celebrating leaving Ukraine and going to Russia, and you telling them they can't do it.
Соединение с нашей истинной родиной России, в принципе, мы никогда от нее и не...
A place in principle we never forgot. They said they been wanting to go back to Russia. How Ukraine gonna stop them? Vladimir Putin said, come on home.
Не отходили и себя так же и чувствовали.
Crimea's government said voter turnout was strong throughout the peninsula, which is dominated by ethnic Russians who see the referendum as an opportunity to return Crimea home and to receive more economic support for an area dependent largely on tourism.
But the fact is, they built bridges to Crimea. They just opened a big bridge that was started years ago. They built, I think, a submarine port, substantially added billions of dollars.
And look, they said Vladimir Putin added billions of dollars to Crimea. You think he finna let that shit go after he lost 10% of his GDP to get it back? Fucking with the West? When Crimea say, look, man, we want out of Ukraine. United States say, hell no, we finna sanction you for doing that. We finna sanction Russia for Crimea doing what the fuck they want to do, which the United States is supposed to support, which is called something called a democracy. Huh? It's called a democracy, right? 95% of the people voted in a democracy to leave Ukraine and go to Russia. The United States couldn't even respect it.
Here's the thing, though. The Crimean Peninsula is not exactly the pinnacle of economic development.
Meaning Crimea was broke as shit. It was broke as hell until who? Vladimir Putin saved them. They was part of Ukraine and they was broke as shit.
Crimeans voted overwhelmingly on Sunday to break away from Ukraine and join Russia in a referendum the West condemned as illegal.
It is a very strategic...
The West condemned as illegal. How the fuck you gonna condemn it as illegal? Huh? We condemn what Crimea done illegal. How? The people voted. Ukraine was corrupt. Ukraine was fucking Crimea over. They want to go somewhere where they can be a little bit more supported. They couldn't go nowhere else. They had to go back to the motherland, to Russia, motherland, the motherland. Look at how broke Crimea was before Russia got to them.
Strategically important location, no doubt, but its people aren't really flush with cash.
People in the Ukraine, who knows, set up or not, but it can't all be set up. I mean, they're marching in favor of joining Russia. I mean, you know, you can send some people in. But Russia, I mean, what he's done for Russia is really amazing.
Ожидание, что наконец...
The expectation is that finally our region will be developed, right? That's what the expectation is when they joined Russia, when Crimea joined Russia. Like, okay, finally we finna have some money pour into our country, our region, right? Which we ain't had before when we was fucking part of Ukraine. We was getting manipulated and corruption was running our region. Now we are part of a country that's going to help us become developed and put billions into us.
Все-таки получит развитие наш регион, что наконец Россия
The Russians will finally take care of us. Huh? The Russians will finally take care of us.
займется нами вплотную, что мы действительно станем
And we really will become a prosperous place. They saying under Russia they will become prosperous because guess what? They wasn't under corrupt ass Ukraine.
процветающим краем.
In fact, when Crimea was annexed into the Russian Federation in March 2014, it was the poorest region in the entire country.
Poorest region in the entire country in March 2014. The poorest region. Who was in office then? Barack Obama? Huh? Who after that, who was getting money, right? Going back and forth to Ukraine when they was one of the brokest. Oh, that wasn't this is Crimea. Same thing. Crimea was one of the brokest damn countries in the damn the brokest regions in the damn country. They was like the third world part. They like the skid row of Ukraine until Russia got to them.
Capital. To bring the new region up to the same level required massive investment to the tune of $2 billion per year. Since 2014, these direct subsidies have actually done wonders for the region. A $4 billion bridge now connects Crimea to mainland Russia, and the peninsula has a renovated airport, 2 new power plants, and an increased military presence, which of course boosts the local economy.
US and European Union officials immediately rejected the results after early exit polls, saying the international community should respond with concrete measures against Russia for its violation of Ukraine's sovereignty.
Fuck Crimea sovereignty, right? The Western countries going to violate you because they think you violated them. Had nothing to do with nobody in the West. Had everything to do with Russia, right? But since the West and the United States and NATO want to be in everybody's fucking business, right? They got in the middle of Russia and Crimea and Ukraine business. That had nothing to do with the United States. You see, the Crimea people want to leave. They want to be part of a developed country. They didn't want to be part of corruption. But the United States say, fuck that. You got to be part of corruption. Because guess what? If you part of Ukraine, we can control Ukraine. We can't control if you part of Russia. So we need you to be part of Ukraine so we can control Ukraine.
So that was on Barack Obama's watch. That was not on Trump's watch. They have to feel a little bit guilty about it because they don't do what they should be doing. Why aren't the European countries? You know, we're talking about the Ukraine. I feel very strongly about the Ukraine. It's great. But why do we have to be in the lead all the time? When I say work, I'm referring to money. They should put up more money. We put up a lot of money. Would I have allowed it to happen? No, I would not have allowed it to happen. But he did allow it to happen. So that was his determination. What will happen with Crimea from this point on, that I can't tell you. But I'm not happy about Crimea. But again, that was Barack Obama's watch, not Trump's watch.
Will you recognize Crimea as part of Russia when you meet President?
That's an interesting question because, long before I got here, President Obama allowed that to happen.
We recognize the deep and complex history between Russia and Ukraine.
All right, so let's go back to that situation in the Crimea. It's an autonomous republic which elects its own parliament.
Huh? They elect their own parliament.
The region is connected to Ukraine in the north and Russia to the east.
Connected to both of them, Russia and Ukraine.
Nearly 60% of the population are Russians.
60% of the population is Russian.
24% are ethnic Ukrainians.
24% is ethnic Ukrainians.
And 12% are Tatars.
So it's more Russians in Crimea than all the other races of people combined. Huh? That's Russia.
We cannot stand by when the sovereignty and territorial integrity of a nation is flagrantly violated.
The peninsula has been home to Russia's Black Sea Fleet for 230 years. The strategic base in Sevastopol gives Moscow better access to the Middle East and the Balkans.
If that happens without consequence in Ukraine, it could happen to any nation gathered here today. Imagine if instead Russia had engaged in true diplomacy and worked with Ukraine and the international community to ensure its interests were protected. That would be better for Ukraine, but also better for Russia.
No, it'd be better for the United States. It'd be better for the United States. Barack Obama knew he wasn't supposed to do nothing about Crimea. They wanted to leave. He knew he wasn't supposed to do nothing. But he got on here talking about, oh, Crimea this and Russia stole that. We're going to put sanctions and stuff like that. He done that just to be doing that. He know he wasn't supposed to do that. Crimea wanted to leave Ukraine and join Russia. They voted. It's a democracy. What you know what I'm saying? They have the right to vote and be part of whoever the fuck they want to be part of. You have no right to tell them who they can and cannot be with.
And better for the world, which is why we continue to press for this crisis to be resolved.
In fact, Crimea used to be part of Russia. It was given to Ukraine as a goodwill gesture in 1954.
And Vladimir Putin took that shit back. Like, ain't gonna be no goodwill gestures while I'm president. That was not too long ago. 1954, Vladimir Putin was still alive. Huh? Vladimir Putin was still alive. So he know what the fuck the Russian history is. It was given to him. And guess what? They didn't take care of it, and Russia went over there and took it back.
When they were both part of the Soviet Union.
Takes Crimea, he's taking the heart and soul because that's where all the money is. So that means the rest of Ukraine will fall, and it's predicted to fall fairly quick.
You said Russia was kicked out of the G8 because they outsmarted Obama. In fact, it was because they annexed Crimea. You know that. They're still there. Why would you let them back in?
On Russia going into the Ukraine. I said very simply, they're not going to do it on my watch, essentially. If you remember, you lost Crimea during a different administration, not during the Trump administration.
I wasn't involved in that. Honestly, I was not involved. Yeah, I was not involved in that.
You see how Donald Trump deflect the Crimea question? I wasn't involved in that, but I'm not finna do anything about that. That everybody keep on saying that Crimea because they're trying to say Barack was tough on Russia because of Crimea, right? Well, Donald Trump said, I'm not into that because the Crimea, why would I punish the Crimea when Crimea want to be part of Russia? He's not basically saying that, but he ignoring basically everything these motherfuckers is basically talking about.
I'd like to, I'd have to take a look at it, but I was not involved.
Do you know what they did?
They softened it, I heard, but I was not involved.
They took away the part of the platform calling for provision of lethal weapons to Ukraine to defend themselves. Why is that a good idea?
Look, you know, I have my own ideas. He's not going into Ukraine, okay? Just so you understand. He's not going to go into Ukraine.
So you have... Meaning, I don't have to do all that necessary defense shit because I got him. I'm working with Vladimir Putin on some deals, right? And I'm working on him with some other shit, right? And Vladimir Putin knows if he invade, if he do anything that fucks off that deal, he's not getting the money. Remember, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump was talking about money.
Chance to help us. That's right. I said Russia will not go into the Ukraine. Now I said that. But that was during the Obama administration that you lost Crimea.
All right, you can mark it down, you can put it down, you can take it anywhere you want.
He's already there, isn't he?
Okay, well, he's there in a certain way, but I'm not there. You have Obama there.
But a couple of...
Huh? He's already there. right? What do you want Donald Trump to do? Vladimir Putin already put billions of dollars into Crimea. He already connected a bridge, right? He already started boosting the economy, right? The people already voted. They want to be part of Russia. They say Ukraine is corrupt, right? What more do you want Donald Trump to do? Do you want him to start an unnecessary war? Why do they keep bringing up Crimea? Like Donald Trump said, that was under Barack Obama watch. Don't blame me for that shit, and I'm not about to do nothing about it. Stop blaming me for that shit.
Paper said Donald Trump doesn't realize that the Crimea was already taken. I know it exactly 2 years ago, approximately.
And frankly, that whole part of the world is a mess under Obama, with all the strength that you're talking about and all of the power of NATO and all of this. In the meantime, he's going away. He takes Crimea. He's sort of, I mean...
But you said you might recognize that.
I'm going to take a look at it.
I might recognize Crimea. I'm going to take a look at it. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying that, yeah, he blowing them off. I'm not fit to fuck with Russia on Crimea. That's stupid. I'm going to take a look at it. I'm not fit to say that no shit like that. I'm a politician also. But I'm not about to say nothing. I'm not about to say nothing about Crimea.
By the time this is now taking place, Crimea is already a part of Russia, essentially, right? And this happened on Obama's watch, okay, approximately. It was taken during Obama's watch. So when I said, believe me, Russia's not going into Ukraine, all right? They're not going into Ukraine.
But, you know, the people of Crimea, from what I've heard, would rather be with Russia than where they were.
Huh? They want to be with Russia than where they were. That's a part of democracy, because Russia was a little less corrupt than Ukraine. Ukraine was more corrupt than Russia. So they wanted to go back to their motherland, where most of the Russians, most of Crimea was. They was Russians. Let them go back to their motherland.
While Russia in general continues to suffer from Putin's expansionist policies, at least the Crimeans are actually having it good.
Olga Koziko welcomes Russian rule. Crimea, she says, has returned home. She chides Western leaders who disagree.
Huh? These are the Crimea people talking. They said, why is the Western people disagreeing with what we decided? That's none of y'all business. They're going to cripple the economy because of what America wanted and they didn't do. Huh? This is how this shit started. America being in motherfuckers' business.
We don't understand them because we are already for 3 years we're in Russia. We changed everything. We changed our rules, our documents, everything. And our soul is in Russia.
Huh? Our soul is in Russia. Why is America still tripping? It's been 3 years. You still tripping on Crimea? It's over with. People who wasn't even with Crimea turning into Russia is with Crimea turning to Russia now. Like this lady, she wasn't with it at first, but now she is. They don't want her over. Whatever Russia doing was better than Ukraine.
Svitlana Gavrilenko had opposed the annexation, but 3 years on, her perspective on Russia has changed.
They were expecting us. They were happy to have us back. Ukraine are not. They really hate us. They think everyone here is a traitor. Even if you were ever pro-Ukrainian or you're now pro-Ukrainian, you're still a traitor because you didn't leave.
Huh? Ukraine are calling them traitors because you didn't leave, right? Remember, in Ukraine, you have to get a bribe to get a damn operation on your leg. You bribe to go to school. You bribe to go to work. You bribe all your way through all kind of shit. If you didn't have the right bribes, your ass going to jail. You can commit a crime and bribe somebody not to get arrested. They want to live under some type of government, right? Now they're prospering, and Ukraine is calling them traitors. When have Ukraine stopped being crooked, corrupt?
And I even have the T-shirt with Putin, and the words are, In Putin we trust, like in God we trust.
Do them people look like they stressed out in Crimea over Vladimir Putin's decision? They love Putin. They got signs of him. They love him. 95%.
America's position hasn't changed. The White House says it expects Moscow to return Crimea.
Huh? We expect Moscow. We expect Moscow to return Crimea after we done put all this money in. After they done voted, they done changed all their paperwork over, all their legal documents. You want them to return Crimea? You see why Vladimir Putin is upset?
I've done with NATO. You know, I've got the NATO countries to put up an extra $130 billion, going to $420 billion a year. That's to guard against Russia.
And you have to look at that also. Now, that was under, just so you understand, that was done under Obama's administration.
I sold, while he was selling pillows and sheets, I sold tank busters to Ukraine.
I'm the one that gave Ukraine offensive weapons and tank killers. Obama didn't. You know what he sent? He sent pillows and blankets.
There has been nobody tougher on Russia than Donald Trump. And I'll tell you, they were so bad. They took over the submarine port. You remember that very well. During your term, during you and Barack Obama, they took over a big part of what should have been Ukraine. You handed it to them.
And
put him on blast. Y'all didn't see this coming? Y'all didn't see Joe Biden and Barack Obama, they used to giving up shit. You didn't think they was going to ace Afghanistan, did you? The evacuation, giving up shit. They gave up a base in Afghanistan. Right? That was close to Russia. They giving up positions, land to Russia. Gave Russia the pipeline. Right? Donald Trump canceled the pipeline. There's nobody's been tougher on Russia than Donald Trump. Look what he done to the Syrians. Blew their ass up. He put sanctions on Russia for acting crazy. Then invited the nigga to the White House. There's nobody been tougher on Vladimir Putin than Donald Trump. He get on national TV and say it's not going to happen. North Korea threatened Donald Trump, say Little Rocket Man better stop. China flooding America with fentanyl. China, you better do something. Mexico flooding the border with immigrants. Mexico, you better do something. Joe Biden ain't doing nothing about near one of these countries. Salamander, bye. The other nigga, bye. Now you got Joe Biden in office. Right? And it's not about no damn Ukrainian war, because he could have been stopped it. He could have been done something. It's still about all that election interference shit. It's all about the emails. Hunter Biden emails and Hillary Clinton emails.
As far as Ukraine is concerned, it's a mess. And that's under the Obama's administration with his strong ties to NATO.
But you were getting a lot of money from Russia. They were paying you a lot of money, and they probably still are.
President Biden had to rebuild trust and confidence in NATO, in the United States. None of this that he has now engineered to...
Well, that's all this shit, bitch.
Ukraine is a mess.
But you see how Donald Trump pointed out Russia was paying you, and they probably still are. They probably still are. They probably not right now, right? But at one point in time, they probably still were. Hunter Biden was probably still getting money from them. Remember, Russia got Hunter Biden emails.
Yes, Crimea has been taken. Don't blame Donald Trump for that.
But the people of Ukraine have consistently tried to pull themselves out from under the thumb of corruption. In less than a decade, they forced 2 revolutions. The first, later named the Orange Revolution, lasted more than 2 months after Viktor Yanukovych won a rigged presidential election.
A rigged presidential election. Huh? After Yanukovych won a rigged presidential election. Hillary Clinton say Vladimir Putin won too.
You've said and we'll do better, and yet we'll have a better relationship with Russia.
The revolution in 2004 resulted in a redo, and Yanukovych lost. In 2010, Yanukovych ran again and won. The status quo lingered until 2014.
And having a good relationship, maybe, and having a good relationship with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing.
The Democrats colluded on the Ukraine.
Democrats colluded with Ukraine. Donald Trump called it out, right? And I'm fit to prove it, right? I'm fit to prove what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump colluded with Ukraine. Donald Trump know Ukraine is corrupt. Ukraine people that say they corrupt. The Democrats is corrupt. Democrats colluded with Ukraine. Watch this.
So they colluded. And then when you get down to it, why isn't the FBI looking at the DNC server?
So can you tell me the story of how you decided to delete 33,000 emails and how that deletion was executed?
Mr. President, when did you first learn that Hillary Clinton used an email system outside the U.S. government for official business while she was Secretary of State?
The same time everybody else learned it through news reports.
So Hillary Clinton didn't give you no warning? Hillary Clinton didn't give you no heads up? Barack Obama is going to be a story to come out that said I use a server. All the Secret Service and all the people that you got working up under you, you let the news, CNN come out with the story before you did? Huh? That's impossible. When did you learn about it, bro? Oh, I learned about it the same time you did. That's a damn lie. You are the president of the United States. You learned about her using a secret damn server the same time we learned about it. Huh? She never told you. You never knew. Huh? Whoever got the email never knew that it came from a unprotected server. I found out the same time y'all found out.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Everything I did was permitted. There was no law. There was no regulation. There was nothing that did not give me the full authority to decide how I was going to communicate.
Huh? So, right, you have the full authority. The full authority to who? You got one boss, Barack Obama. You work for one person, Barack Obama. So the only person who can give you authority to do that is Barack Obama.
Are you disappointed?
Let me just say that Hillary Clinton is and has been an outstanding public servant. She was a great Secretary of State for me.
Is you disappointed that she was on the server, that she said you verified it, you okayed?
The policy of my administration is to encourage transparency.
Previous secretaries of state have said they did the same thing, and people across the government knew that I used one device.
Right? People across the government knew she used one device. So everybody in the government knew she was using an unprotected server. She just said it. Everyone knew I was using one device. So that means the president knew too. She just said it. Everyone she was emailing knew she was using one device. So the president knew too.
Maybe it was because I am not the most technically capable person and wanted to make it as easy as possible.
And that's why my emails, the BlackBerry that I carry around, all those records are available and archived. And I'm glad that Hillary is instructed that those emails that had to do with official business need to be disclosed.
Those emails that had to, what about the emails who didn't have to do with official business, like the pizza and the hot dogs? What about them emails, huh? On Anthony Weiner laptop. What about all of them, huh? About the pizzas and the hot dogs. You don't want them to be released, huh?
But you said that they did the same thing, that they used a personal server and
well, a personal
while facing
email.
a subpoena deleted emails from them?
You know, you're starting with so many assumptions that are, I've never had a subpoena. There is nothing. Again, let's take a deep breath here.
You heard what she said? She didn't know what the fuck to say. Okay, I have never. Let's take a deep breath here. She didn't know what the fuck to say right there. Okay, I have never. Okay, well, let's take a deep breath here. You said other people use the servers, but did other people delete 30,000 emails? Okay, you're just making. Okay, let's start over here. Let's take a deep breath. No, bitch, you busted.
That they did the same thing. That they used a personal server and
Well, a
while
personal
facing
email.
a subpoena, deleted emails from them.
You know, you're starting with so many assumptions that are, I've never had a subpoena. There is nothing. Again, let's take a deep breath here.
Well, you said that you have the most transparent administration ever. You said it again just a couple of weeks ago.
It's true. Barack Obama said he had the most transparent. Didn't Joe Biden say the same thing? Right? Didn't he say he's going to run on the most transparent? Even more transparent than Barack Obama? Where's your release phone calls? Where's your release message? Where your release all that old shit, huh? Why you ain't doing no interview? Why you ain't doing no press conference? Why you can't answer no questions? But he's the most transparent administration in history. For real. But it's really not about Ukraine, Russia. It's really about Russia. Huh? Hillary Clinton is running this shit. Look how passionate she is about these emails, about Vladimir Putin.
Everything I did was permitted by law and regulation. I had one device. When I mailed anybody in the government, it would go into the government system.
Like Bobby Mayo went into my Cash App system. Lock her ass up. Bobby said, lock her ass up. Lock her up, Bobby. Huh? These emails was not permitted. These emails was illegal. Talking about everyone knew. Everybody who signed on to that shit on unsecured email need to get their ass locked up too. Huh? How you think he got the emails? Because they was on an unsecured network. Meaning somebody should have knew better. Whoever you, somebody working up under you, somebody you emailed, somebody should have knew fucking better.
Now, I didn't have to turn over anything. I chose to turn over 55,000 pages.
How does this square with that?
Well, I think that the fact that she's going to be putting them forward will allow us to make sure that people have the information they need.
And we're going to hear a little more from you, Bill, a little later in the broadcast. Bill Plant with the president in Selma. Thank you. And you can...
What your thought process was on that.
Because I wanted to go above and beyond what was expected of me, because I knew the vast majority of everything that was official already was in the State Department system.
Just now, President Putin denied having anything to do with the election interference in 2016. Every U.S. intelligence agency has concluded that Russia did. My first question for you, sir, is who do you believe?
Not none of the Democrats, not none of the FBI that's working up under me. I don't believe none of them sons of bitches. Especially I don't believe Hillary Clinton, because Hillary Clinton is the main one that is pushing this shit. Like Bobby Mayo said, lock her ass up.
For now, let's move on to the next big story coming in from the United States. A nearly 1,000-page report released by U.S. bipartisan Senate panel confirms that Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered the 2016 hacking of the Democratic Party accounts and the release of Hillary Clinton's emails.
This is the first story I saw this female line on. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But Vladimir Putin finna give up some game on this in a little bit. He finna give up some game that's gonna bust everybody's bubble.
Intended to harm her campaign.
My second question is, would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin, would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
The Senate Intelligence Committee has concluded in the final report of its Russia probe. The committee has also found that President Donald Trump did not collude with Moscow.
Now you're hearing the truth. Vladimir Putin supposed to have hacked the election, but Donald Trump had no collusion, right? In that report, no collusion with Russia. None. No collusion. No matter what Vladimir Putin done, They can't prove Donald Trump done shit. No collusion.
But now, with what came out today, it's even worse. All of the emails, the horrible emails of the kind of money that you were raking in, you and your family.
They're all about the emails. Hillary Clinton emails, Anthony Weiner emails, Hunter Biden emails, Joe Biden emails.
So let me just say that we have two thoughts. You have groups that are wondering why the FBI never took the server. Why haven't they taken the server?
Russian President Putin ordered the Russian efforts to hack computer networks, and Moscow's intent was to harm the Clinton campaign, tarnish an expected Clinton presidential administration as well.
And Joe, you were vice president when some of this was happening.
He was president when all this so-called hacking was happening too. He was vice president then too. And the vice president when his son Hunter was having them emails. Getting money out of Ukraine and Russia. It's all about the emails. Hunter Biden emails. Who got Hunter Biden emails? Russia, Ukraine, emails.
And it should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people. Why is it? Why was the FBI told to leave the office of the Democratic National Committee? I've been wondering that. I've been asking that for months and months, and I've been tweeting it out and calling it out on social media. Where is the server?
We're going to begin this hour with Hillary Clinton, who now says Russian President Vladimir Putin essentially had a score to settle in relation to the suspected hacking of the election.
A score to settle. Vladimir Putin got a score to settle, huh? Now you got a score to settle with Vladimir Putin. Vladimir Putin had a score to settle with her, supposedly. Now she got a score to settle with him. Huh? Where's the server? Vladimir Putin got it.
I want to know, where is the server and what is the server saying?
She has also now commented on the release of a letter by FBI Director James Comey just days before the election she would lose to Donald Trump.
With that being said, all I can do is ask the question. My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia.
I made a mistake using a private email.
That's for sure.
That's for sure. I made a mistake using a private. That's not a mistake. That's a fuck up. You don't make mistakes that risk national security. That's not a mistake. Huh? And if that was a mistake, who allows you to make that mistake for so long? I'm talking like, that's for damn sure. I made a mistake using the server. That's for damn sure. After you was on here talking about it was a government business and everybody knew and I didn't violate nothing. Now it was a mistake. It was a mistake. No. Now you mean that you fucked up in front of the world and everybody knew it. It wasn't a mistake. It was a fuck up. Lock her ass up.
I will say this, I don't see any reason why it would be, but I really do want to see the server. But I have confidence in both parties. I really believe that this will probably go on for a while, but I don't think it can go on without finding out what happened to the server.
What happened to the server? Huh, Hillary? What happened to the server? Why is you so mad at Russia? The emails, the supposedly hacking, the dumping of emails with a server. Where's the server?
And if I had to do it over again, I would obviously do it differently.
What happened to the servers of the Pakistani gentlemen that worked on the DNC? Where are those servers? They're missing. Where are they?
Huh? I made a mistake. Where's the servers, Hillary? Who got the servers? Vladimir got the servers?
But I'm not going to make any excuses. It was a mistake, and I take responsibility for that.
What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails, gone, just gone. I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone so easily. I think it's a disgrace that we can't get Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails.
Mr. President, do you believe that these emails from Hillary Clinton, do you believe that they're in Ukraine? Do you think this whole thing...
I think they could be. You mean...
Do you think the emails in Ukraine? I think they could be. Remember they said the server was in Ukraine at first? Then they said the server was in Russia. They didn't know where the server was at, right? The server could have been in Ukraine. Where's the server at? Who got the server?
The 30,000 that she deleted?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they could very well. That was more than a mistake. That was done purposely, okay? That was not a mistake. That was done purposely. When you have your staff taking the Fifth Amendment, taking the Fifth so they're not prosecuted, when you have the man that set up the illegal server taking the Fifth, I think it's disgraceful.
Huh? You saying it was a mistake, but everybody that's connected to it has to take the Fifth so they won't get prosecuted for telling the truth. Huh? She made them take the Fifth. Huh? Look how much shit is falling on Hillary Clinton right now. The dude in court just said Hillary Clinton knew about the fake dossier. She okayed it. They snitching on her. Right? See, she had people plead the Fifth so they wouldn't talk about the illegal emails, the dumping, the bleaching of the emails, the missing servers. I plead the Fifth. I'm transparent. Obama say I got the most transparent administration ever, but they got people pleading the Fifth, so they can't tell on Hillary Clinton. Who they plead the Fifth with?
Great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
One of the great crimes committed is Hillary Clinton deleting 33,000 emails after Congress sends her a subpoena.
And had stated very clearly that, we believe in democracy, we believe in the rule of law, and, that all annoyed him. We also supported the aspirations of people for greater independence and freedom in places like Ukraine. That certainly annoyed him.
And what he did is an incredible offer.
Watch what, look, and what Vladimir Putin fit to offer, right? I want you to think about what he fit to offer, right? And Donald Trump fit to break it down, and Vladimir Putin fit to break it down. Vladimir Putin fit to break down what a true democracy is in front of the fucking country, right? And give the Democrats and whoever want to investigate a perfect opportunity to get down into the Russian collusion, the Russian investigation. And then he gave a perfect example of why the United States shouldn't have shit to say about any hacking, right? Vladimir Putin finna fuck everybody up with this right here. And Donald Trump got out here and say, hey, wait a minute. And Vladimir Putin got a hell of an offer. Do anybody want to take it? Huh? And Vladimir Putin like, hell yeah, let me say something. Watch this shit. When Donald Trump get finished, Vladimir Putin was like, hell yeah, let me say something. Right? But Donald Trump say, hey, who sent me a donation? Well, Vanessa been coming through. Vanessa. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank Trump, or we would never have seen this corruption. Always great content, Patriot. Oh, Vanessa. Watch that. Vanessa, you this finna blow your mind right here, Vanessa. I promise you this finna blow your mind right here, Vanessa. How Vladimir Putin finna set this up and how Donald Trump finna set Vladimir Putin up. Who wants to take this offer, Vanessa? No Democrat ever took him up on this offer. It was a perfect opportunity for everybody to get down to the Russian collusion. And they didn't do nothing, Vanessa. Here we go.
He offered to have the people working on the case come and work with their investigators with respect to the 12 people. I think.
Huh? He said, Vladimir Putin wanted the United States to come. You didn't hear that. Vladimir Putin wanted the United States to come work with his people, right? So they can get back down to the bottom of it. Huh? So that we get down to the bottom of it. That's not all he's going to offer, though. It's a long list of shit, right? That's not all he gonna offer. I'm willing for your people to come work with my people so we can get to the bottom of this shit. Did any Democrats take him up? Did any FBI take him up? Did any DOJ take him up? Huh? Vladimir Putin got an offer. We're willing to work with you.
He did is an incredible offer. He offered to have the people working on the case come and work with their investigators with respect to the 12 people. I think that's an incredible offer. Okay?
Huh? I think that's an incredible offer, Vanessa. Huh? Vanessa, I think that's a hell of an offer.
Thank you.
So that group that I think includes our president, who look at an authoritarian and say, boy, would that be easy? He just orders people. And if you know what, they don't do what he wants, they end up in prison, they might even end up dead or at the very least exiled.
Wait a minute. Vanessa, didn't she do all three of them to Jeffrey Epstein? She said they don't agree with me. They might end up in jail, dead. Jeffrey Epstein ended up in both of them fucking with you. Dead, in jail and dead. At the same damn time. And exiled like a motherfucker. Exiled to hell. Huh? So if anybody fuck with Vladimir Putin, they'll be exiled and dead. Bitch, you got the same characteristics of Vladimir Putin. Anybody fuck with Hillary Clinton end up dead in jail. Huh? How many motherfuckers committed suicide? How many people was in car accidents, gunshots, hung themselves, drowned, airplane accidents? Look, bitch, I think you killed Kennedy. Kennedy run against you for the senator of New York. All of a sudden, Kennedy dead in a plane crash. What the fuck? Bitch, you got a long list of people dying. You talking about people, Vladimir Putin opponents. At least he poisoned them. Bitch, you don't give motherfucker opportunity. You give them shots to the head, electrocutions and shit. Electrocutions and shit. Vanessa, Hillary Clinton is one of the worst human beings on the face of the earth. Talking about Vladimir Putin. Bitch, you is evil.
Think of that. And she deletes them. And then she said, as I remember it, that, oh, well, they had to do with the wedding and yoga. She does a lot of yoga, right?
It's just a total deflection, this whole thing with Russia.
How come the FBI didn't take the server from the DNC? Just think about that one, Sean.
I'd like to add something to.
Look, Vladimir Putin, like, I like to add something too. Just don't stop there, right? I'm finna give you the true meaning of a democracy. Since y'all want to talk about what the fuck a democracy is, and y'all so up on the democracy, you heard what Donald Trump said? I'm finna add on and tell you why what Donald Trump said is part of democracy.
To this. After all, I was an intelligence officer myself.
Make no mistake about it, there was something that was personal toward me, in part because as Secretary of State, I had stood up to him.
It was something towards me, but I mean, she's saying she lost the election because it was something about me. It was something towards me, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't like, because I stood up to him. He called me a sloppy hoe, huh? Vladimir Putin like, hold on, I got something to say. I got something to tell you motherfuckers, huh? I got something to school the United States about. Because he finna give it up about the dossier too. Because he like, I was an intelligence, or people say this, I was an intelligence officer, bitch, and I know how to dig up a dossier. Vladimir Putin finna hit with a cold shot. He like, yeah, bitch, hold on. First of all, bitch, you know what I'm saying, let me say something, you know what I'm saying? Because I was an intelligence officer too, bitch, and I know how to dig up a dossier. I know what you've been doing, Hillary Clinton. I know how to get a dirty dossier, huh? I know the nigga you got the dossier from.
And I do know how dossiers are made up. Just a quote, just.
Look, I do know how dossiers is made up, Hillary Clinton, just to let you know, huh? I do know how this shit is made up, huh? Bitch, we know that's a fake dossier. Huh? But I'm finna give you some game on democracy.
Second. I believe that Russia is a democratic state, and I hope you're not denying this right to your own country. You're not denying that United States is a democracy. Do you believe United States is a democracy?
He tried to put him in a corner, right? He's like, Russia is a democracy, and United States is a democracy. Don't you believe United States democracy? Do you agree United States is a democracy? Right? If you say yeah, and you have to say yeah, okay. If the United States democracy, then let me hit you with this then. If the United States democracy, okay, I believe Russia's democracy, and I'm willing to do some democratic shit to get down to this Russian collusion shit. Are you willing to do some democratic shit? Right? Let's see who's more democratic, me or you.
And if so, if it is a democratic state, then the final conclusion in this kind of a dispute can only be delivered by a trial.
This is something every American.
It only can be leveled by a trial, right? That means get the proper people up in there to make a judgment. Not the FBI, not the DOJ, not Hillary Clinton, not Barack Obama, not Joe Biden. Let's handle this in court. Ain't that what a democracy does? Ain't that what a democracy do? Right? You're supposed to handle this in a judicial way, right? Let's do this in court. Huh? But I'm not finished yet.
Should be.
Because remember, Hillary Clinton say, right? She say, Vladimir Putin is not a legitimate president, right? This is what Hillary Clinton say, right? So first of all, you say Donald Trump is not a legitimate president. Then you say Vladimir Putin is going to be taken out. You got a plan for post-war. And then you say Vladimir Putin cheated his election and he's not a legitimate president too. Hold on. Donald Trump cheated and he cheated? Hold on, bitch. You out of control. She finna say Vladimir Putin cheated and he illegitimate just like Donald Trump. Watch this shit.
Should be worried about. No kidding. You know, we have to recognize that, as the latest reports made clear, Vladimir Putin himself directed the covert cyber attacks against our electoral system, against our democracy, apparently because he has a personal beef against me.
A personal beef against me. He attacked our whole democracy, right? He attacked our whole system because he has a personal beef against Hillary Clinton. Think about what Hillary Clinton is saying. All this because I have a personal beef with Hillary Clinton.
By the court, not by the executive, by the law enforcement.
And why is that? Because when he came back into power, because when I became Secretary of State, he was serving as Prime Minister to Medvedev, who was president. And I want you to know this because you'll go home and people will ask you. And so he decided, you know, that's the way their system works. He decided he would be president again. So in the fall of 2011, they had, quote, parliamentary elections, which were so flawed, so illegitimate, that it was embarrassing.
By the way, right? She's talking about somebody else's election, Russia's election, not the United States election. She's talking about Russia elections now.
By the way, if they hacked, they probably have her 33,000 emails. I hope they do.
I hope Russia do got her emails. But Vladimir Putin say, let's handle this in court. We don't need to handle this by the police or no DOJ. Handle this in court. That's what democracy is. Break it down, Vladimir.
For instance, the Concord company that was brought up is being accused. It's been accused of interference. But this company does not constitute the Russian state. It does not represent the Russian state.
Look, he said the company, right? Vladimir Putin finna say some cold shit right here. He said the company that you accusing of doing the hacking, it's not part of my government. It's not part of nobody I sent out to hack your elections, right? And he said, I'm finna give you an example. You think, look at George Soros. He's not no politician. But look at the shit he's doing to influence elections. Look at the shit he's doing to control nations and shit like that. He gave him a perfect example. And who could deny that, right? You don't think it's somebody like George Soros in another country that can do the same shit and try to influence elections just like George Soros do over here? Or Bill Gates? Or Mark Zuckerberg? Huh? You don't think there's people over there that do the exact same thing to influence elections that has nothing to do with the government? Oh, Vladimir Putin, cold motherfucker.
And I brought several examples before.
They probably have her 33,000 emails that she lost and deleted, because you'd see some beauties there.
I was your Secretary of State. At least in those years, we stood up for democracy and human rights. And one of the things that was clear was that this was a phony attempt for him to appear as though he had a parliamentary victory.
Well, you have a lot of individuals in the United States, take George Soros, for instance, with multi-billion capitals, but does it make him his position, his posture, the posture of the United States? No, it does not.
Huh? George Soros, just because he got money and he do what he want to do and try to influence the election, it doesn't mean he represents the United States. Ooh, Vladimir Putin. That was so cold and so fucking true. Right? That's why Vladimir Putin say, right, the same people y'all talking about, these 12 individuals, they don't work for us. Y'all government can come work with our government and we can convict these people. They're not part of our shit. They part of something else. They want to influence an election. We have no say-so on the people they hire to hack and the people they hire to do this and do that. Now, if they interfere and you can prove that in court, lock their ass up. You got people in your country that do the same thing and you don't lock their ass up. Oh, Vladimir Putin, what? Huh? You got people in your country. Let me give you an example. George Soros. He do the same thing, but his politics and his position don't represent the United States. Now do it. So how you going to say their position represent ours? I'd rather have Joe Biden in office so I can do what the fuck I want to do. Huh? Think about this. Joe Biden fight for corruption and arrest one person in Ukraine. Hillary Clinton saying Hillary Clinton saying Vladimir Putin got a personal vendetta against her, right? So he hacked into our system, or to our water system, to our financial system, to our voting system. All that because of her, right? So Biden got a beef with one person, and Hillary Clinton got a beef with one person. One person in Ukraine, one person in Russia. One person with a prosecutor, one person with the president. All this for one person. The quid pro quo and all that old stuff for one person, a phone call. All this, what she's saying, she hacking the system, we got to do all this old sanctions and all this shit was supposedly because of Hillary Clinton. She said it. They hack into our system. They doing this. They fucking with our democracy. All because Vladimir Putin got a beef with me. And you know why? Watch what she say.
So I issued a statement. That's what secretaries of state do. And I basically said, based on independent observations and analysis, this was an unfair, not free, illegitimate election.
Russia, if you...
Huh? She's told Vladimir Putin about his election wasn't fair and it was illegitimate election, huh? I stood up and I told him that's why he got a beef with me. So you run around telling the country who presidents and who won and who lost and how they won and how they lost. You accusing Vladimir Putin of doing the same thing Donald Trump done to his country as he done over here. And Vladimir Putin say, if you want to prove that we didn't have nothing to do with it and we live in a democracy, let's take it to court. No Democrat said anything.
You're listening. I hope you're able to find the 30,000.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the emails.
Not free, illegitimate election.
Russia, if you're listening, I hope you're able to find the 30,000 emails that are missing.
Well, it's the same case. There is the issue of trying a case in the court, and the final say is for the court to deliver.
Huh? The final say is for the courts to deliver. Not no DOJ document, not no report, not no 100-page this. Let's take it to court, right? Because all the Americans came with, oh, we have a 100-page report from the DOJ that shows we have proof that Russia was hacking. Oh, we had a 100-page report to say this. Oh, the DOJ said this. Oh, American, what? That's just a report. That's just something American intelligence supposedly came up with. That's not the proof. In a democracy, you're supposed to take it to court, right? You do it in America, because if that was the case, Hunter Biden would have been in jail if we were just going on reports. Biden would have been in jail if we was going on reports. Right? In America, don't y'all take it to court? Y'all have a report, then y'all file the report to the courts. And y'all take it up in court. Why y'all don't want to prosecute these people in court? Huh? Oh, Vladimir Putin so cold. We live in a democracy, but you motherfuckers don't want to do no democratic shit, huh? Huh? You just want it your way. Take this report and take it for what it's worth. We tell the truth. We don't need to go to court. Take our word for it. Donald Trump like, hey, look, hold on, who am I supposed to believe? Him or you? You motherfuckers trying to do the same thing to me as you doing to him. Saying I'm illegitimate, you said he illegitimate. Say I cheated, say he cheated for me. Said I was in collusion with him. They proved I wasn't. You spied on my campaign. I mean, you treat me worse than him. So who should I believe? The FBI spied on my campaign, Comey. He spied on my campaign. I mean, who am I supposed to trust? Vladimir Putin say it wasn't me, and I'm willing to convict the people, whoever it was, that supposedly hacked in Russia, the company Concord or whatever that's supposed to hack you. I'm willing to, convict them. Tell your people to work with my people, and let's do the shit. Democrats like, oh, hell no. We don't want to do that. We want to accuse some shit. We want to stick with this Russia shit. Because if we actually convict somebody and find out it wasn't the Russian government that hacked us, right? That it was a probably like a Russian militia, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, George Soros group over there, right? Then we can clear our name. But if we don't go to court and you motherfuckers keep on with this Russia, and y'all just go on the DOJ and the experts and the intelligence report, then yes, we hacked the election. But if you go to court or take your evidence to court and let us present our evidence, we can prove our innocence. And YouTube, I didn't say no shit like that. I didn't say Russia was innocent, YouTube, just in case you heard it that way. I said Russia was guilty as shit. Russia was hacking and they cheated Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton should have won. She won by 10 million votes, and she should have been in the White House, and Donald Trump should have never been president for YouTube censorship. Huh? But Vladimir Putin say, let's do this the democratic way. Democrats always talking about some democratic shit. Let's vote on abortion. No. We want to take it over the threatening way, the mob way. We don't want a democratic way. We don't want to vote on it. We don't want the courts to have, to say so. We don't want the Constitution to be followed. We want it to be rewritten. We want it to be used to our ability. What about the voting shit? We don't want nothing. Did you know in Georgia, right, doing this little runoff shit, you know the black voter turnout was high? The black voter turnout during the preliminary, whatever the fuck they call it, the runoffs or whatever, right? They was high. For the Democrats. They voted more than the white folks in the primaries. And they talking about voter rights. But Vladimir Putin say, you want to do some democratic shit? Let's get to the bottom of it. No takers.
We are now talking about the private, the individuals, and not about particular states. And as far as the most recent allegation is concerned about the Russian intelligence officers, we do have an intergovernmental treaty. Please do send us the request. We will analyze it properly and we'll send a formal response. And as I said, we can extend this cooperation, but we should do it on a reciprocal basis, because we would await our Russian counterparts to provide us access to the persons of interest for us.
Huh? Yeah, like we want, and Russia's saying we want to work with you because we want our Russian counterparts, the people who y'all say got this information, the DOJ and the intelligence, to share your information with us so we can convict them. What's wrong with that? Huh? Under Donald Trump, Russia government wanted to work with our government. Under Donald Trump, China government was working with our government to kill fentanyl. Right? He wanted to work with us to get to the bottom of the Russian collusion shit. Mexico was helping us with the border shit. Right? Ain't none of them helping us with shit now. Think about it. Ain't none of Mexico ain't helping us with the border, right? Russia ain't helping us with no with the Ukraine situation, you know what I'm saying? Or no Russian collusion or getting to the bottom of the election, right? China ain't fucking with us on no damn fentanyl or no damn shit for the farmers. When have you heard Joe Biden get up there and talk about the farmers, right? Donald Trump used to get up there like, yeah, I just got China for $5 billion, they finna do this, they finna do that. Donald Trump just never got to put the finishing touches on it, right? Think about it. Donald Trump was getting money out of China, from farmers, you know, from China, right? For farmers. Joe Biden selling up land to China to farm on. Ain't that a bitch? You know how much land China own in the United States for farming? China ain't going hungry. We bet that. They got farms around this summer, bitch. Huh?
Who we believe can have something to do with the intelligence services. Well, let's discuss the specific issues and not use the Russia.
Honestly, they have no idea if it's Russia. Might be Russia. But if it's any foreign country, it shows how little respect they have for the United States.
Well, let's discuss the specific issues and not use the Russia and the U.S. relationship as a loose change for this internal political struggle.
Huh? Don't use Russia and the United States relationship for this political struggle. Vladimir Putin giving up game. Don't use this Russia for a political struggle. Let's take this shit to court. Let our governments work with each other. Let's get to the bottom of it. Did any Democrats take him up on it? Huh? They disrespected Vladimir Putin in every way. One thing Donald Trump didn't do is disrespect Vladimir Putin. He commanded respect for Vladimir Putin, and he respected Vladimir Putin, right? But Vladimir Putin didn't ever think about disrespecting Donald Trump. And Donald Trump didn't disrespect him in a way that told him he better do something, right? Or he better give back something. Or he done something illegal. Or he a killer. Or he won illegitimate. He cheated his election. He poisoned his opponents. He lock up his Donald Trump ain't never accused Vladimir Putin of none of that, right? But he did accuse President Xi of war crimes, right? Of locking up Uyghurs and shit like that, and said that was foul. He spoke up on that. He spoke up on Germany buying oil from Russia, right? He spoke up on that. He spoke up on NATO not spending no money. He spoke up on Mexico not guarding the border. He spoke up on all of that. That's what the president's supposed to do. He had control of Afghanistan, Iraq. Told them they better not do this. They better not shoot this. No soldiers dead in over a couple of, like 18 months. Donald Trump had the world listening to him. All the motherfucking leaders was talking behind his back, but they never say shit in his face. And I'm just talking about the world. I'm not talking about the shit Donald Trump had right in his country. Because look how fucked up the country. I mean, look how fucked up I'm not just talking about our country. Look how fucked up the world is since Donald Trump left office. They say Afghanistan, right, or Taliban or ISIS could attack United States in less than 18 months. They say China is preparing to go to war with take over Taiwan. You see what's going over there in Russia and Ukraine. We're not even talking about North Korea. Don't forget about them. Right? We right now, we're in a position where we probably be on 3 war fronts. You never know how vulnerable we are right now. But under Donald Trump, you never heard about gas. You never heard about food. You never heard about shortages. Even in the fucking pandemic, you never heard of it. At the worst time, you never once heard it's going to be a shortage in this. It's going to be the only thing motherfuckers said, they thought it was going to be a shortage in toilet paper. Nope. They thought the grocery store was going to be short. Nope. They thought food was going to raise up to different prices under Donald Trump during the height of the Wuhan. Nope. Everything was straight. Now we out of it. Everything back to normal, and we short on everything. How is that even possible? We on lockdown, we had everything. People wasn't able to drive trucks and all that. People was on straight lockdowns. We had everything. Then we got out, we still had everything. A year later, we running out of shit. Right? It's gas stations already preparing to have $10 gas up. They changing their signs and putting the extra digit up there for being prepared for $10. Think about it. Gas stations are putting up an extra digit on a fucking price thing, preparing for $10 gas. This shit is crazy. And then on top, right, like certain information about, about shit that's about to happen with the health and shit like that, you can't say it because they'll take you off of YouTube. Like the video I made the other day about what's going to happen with the Wuhan, they take it off of YouTube quick. They want people to know the truth. They don't know. They want you to know what the war is really about. Everything was at peace. Ukraine talking to Russia, having meetings. Zelensky making progress. Vladimir Putin not sending troops The war stopped. Remember they came out. The war stopped. The ceasefire. 18,000 people dead. It's over now. Let's quit. It's peace talks. What happened to them talks? Everything is fucked up when Donald Trump left the White House. Women's rights is fucked up. Huh? Your Second Amendment. Look, they're trying to hire information czars and all that shit that quiet you and guide and what information comes your way and tell you what information you can and cannot hear. But everybody's supposed to be transparent. Then they want to use everything to say it's social media. Oh, hate mail, hate speech, mass murders, everything because of social media and Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump rhetoric. Right? We got to do misinformation on Russia. We got to do misinformation on Ukraine. We got to do misinformation on the Wuhan. We got to get misinformation on the Trump juice. We got to have misinformation on for the elections. We got to have misinformation czar for Russia-Ukraine war. Huh? We got to have a misinformation for the kids and mental health, and we got to have a misinformation for every fucking thing. Because everything you're getting is misinformation. Every crisis come up, right? Starting back with Hillary Clinton. And this shit right here with the servers and they cheated and Russia hacked and all this. Everything started right there. We need to start putting a ban on this. Everything started with Hillary Clinton. People think it just started just now. It started with Hillary Clinton in 2016, 6 years ago. Barack Obama, 6 years ago, saying the same shit. We need to have these social media companies need to take responsibilities and this and that and the hacking of this and the hacking of that, and we need the information this and we need this, and there's a lot of disinformation out there. Disinformation about my campaign. Disinformation about emails. It all started with Hillary Clinton. Now everything, think about it. Critical race theory. We need to have a misinformation thing about critical race theory. We need to have misinformation about white supremacists, about the police, about black people, about justice, about injustice, about equality. Huh? Sexuality, transgender. We had information, disinformations are on all of this. Because we want to control what information you are getting, and we don't want our information contradicted with nobody else's. So you can't even contradict nobody's information no more, because what we say is final and what we say is true. Even if we make a mistake, right? Because everybody is either we can move on from the mistake or we can ignore this mistake, because everybody is moving in one way. If everybody got to take the shit and it don't work, guess what? It don't work with everybody. So everybody is successful because everybody failed. It's fucked up. Right? They want to control you. They want to manipulate you. And you know what I'm saying? And you're lucky we got a couple of people that's actually saving us. And if we don't hurry up and get these Democrats out in November, it's going to get worse than the fucking already is. Because that means we give them another 2 years of comfortability. That means we got to wait to 2024 for some shit to change. I mean, do you want your gas to go up to double digits? Do you want food to be so short that you got to get rationed? Do you want inflation to be so high that you get laid off? or can't pay your rent, or even if they got baby formula, you can't afford it. Why do we got to keep on doing these emergencies, everything? Emergency masks, emergency baby food, emergency pandemic relief, emergency this, everything is emergency. How is under Joe Biden, everything is an emergency? Rescue this. Huh? Save kids this. Title 42 that. Everything is about saving. Emergency. Huh? I'm finna save them. It's an emergency. We need to save the black people. It's an emergency. We need to save democracy. It's an emergency. We need to save rights. It's an emergency. We need to pass the police reform. It's an emergency. On end this right here by saying you better get your ass out and vote. You better influence whoever the fuck you need to influence to vote. Right? Because don't think it can't happen to us. We've been so strong. We've been so dominant in the world. Right? Don't think it can happen to us. You think these people give a fuck? They're trying to wipe out the middle class. Middle class can't buy no milk. Middle class for to get taxed. Right? Middle class losing businesses. Right? It's a war in the middle class. More middle class getting robbed, stolen. I mean, people ain't look. There's no use to rob Pookie down the street no more, because we know Pookie ain't got shit. I robbed Pookie for his EBT card or what, his Jordans or his jacket. Pookie ain't got shit no more. I breaking Pookie car. Pookie ain't got nothing in his car but some fucked up CDs. I know Pookie ain't got nothing. I got to go to the middle class. I got to go the Beverly Hills. I got to go to West Hollywood. I got to go to Santa Monica to get something good out of somebody's car, or go in somebody's house and get something great. I can't go in no niggas' house around here with these fucked up TVs. And plus, they always in their house. The middle class ain't never in their house. I can go there, scope the scene out, do all kind of shit. It's the middle class that's going on vacation and getting robbed. It's the middle class that's being, I mean, and especially if you're conservative, being called racist. Huh? Your rights is getting taken from. It's the middle class who Second Amendment rights is getting took away from. Because ain't too many lower class people got them rights. Jail, probation, prison, you know, all those shit that we never got, our gun rights. So it's a war on the middle class. It's the middle class students, kids that are being fucked up in school. Like Donald Trump say, it's a war on the middle class. That's why I'm glad I'm broke as shit. It's not a war on me. It's not a war on broke motherfuckers. They don't care about me. Like, they can give a nigga like me some kind of government subsidy or some kind of government program, and I'm gonna take it because I got to try to bridge some kind of wealth, got my damn self. So I got to take any kind of government subsidy they give me. Give me this, give me that. You know what I'm saying? Until I rise up out of where I'm at, right? But until then, it's not no war on me. Because they're going to try to take care of me. I can go apply for this and apply for that. You know what I'm saying? They're going to try to take care of somebody like me because they think they gonna get my vote, or they want my vote, or they want to make, you know what I'm saying, a program where they can make money off of me. Right? But it's not hurting me. I mean, it's hurting me because I can't do as much traveling and stuff like that. It's gonna hurt me as far as this gas and food. Right? But I know it's other things that other people gotta worry about, you know what I'm saying, that has businesses and houses and other things like that and families and stuff like that. They have to worry about. I don't have to worry about the family. I ain't got to worry about the business. I ain't got to worry about certain things. I don't have that stress. Stocks and bonds, and I don't have that stress and savings and stuff like that. My savings is gone. every dime I get go on something, right? You know what I'm saying? And like I say, your dollar don't go as far as it goes. Like you said, I used to love when I used to go out there and give food and to the homeless and all those shit. I can't do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? I can't go out there and do that shit like I used to because the food costs more, right? And not even that. Everything around the food costs more, the gas costs more, the shit I'm buying costs more. Right? Rent done went up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't do the same shit that you used to do. Right? Now everything was the same, right? 2 years ago when I was making the same amount of money right now, I'd be cool. But if I'm making less donations and I'm spending $1,000 extra a month, you like, whoa. But that's me on a lower level. Imagine somebody that's not spending $1,000 a month, right? But spending $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 extra a month. Because they got a big rig truck, or they pay this amount of insurance, or they got to buy this amount of extra fertilizer, it's this amount of extra hot dogs, or this amount of extra chicken, or this amount of extra whatever it may be, right? And they don't sell their stuff, you know what I'm saying? And they don't, and their business is not, and because their business work on profit or people or donate or hand-to-hand money, they don't get the same money that they get because people ain't buying hot dogs off the corner no more. People ain't buying them burritos off that truck no more. People ain't coming to your store, you know what I'm saying, and buying them nachos and ices and buying your T-shirts from the store. I mean, everything is starting to, because people want to save. I will support, but I gotta save. See, then if you don't, like, it's crazy because I can't do the videos I want to do, so I gotta kind of sneak and do videos, and you know what I'm saying, and try to beat YouTube censorship and try to talk about certain things that they don't catch on the algorithm and try to flag me because you only can say certain things. I can't talk about I can't talk about the 2000 such and such. They'll flag me if I even mention it. You know what I'm saying? If I download a video about it, you know what I'm saying, to try to make a video about it, put it on another channel, see, the cool thing about it, right, is most of the videos you download, you gotta download and gotta go off of YouTube. As soon as YouTube get them algorithms, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, like you download something, you gotta most likely download it on YouTube. If not, you know what I'm saying, YouTube catch it, they're gonna flag you. And it's crazy. It ain't even gotta be you. It could be something already on YouTube. But this is how censorship is now. Right? And like I say, don't think it just can happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Like they flagged me 2 times for talking about a certain topic with the WHO and Joe Biden, right? They flagged me 2 times for talking about it. So it's getting dangerous when we live in a country where you can't even tell the truth no more. And they taking it slowly. They telling you they taking it. Think like I mentioned earlier. Think about how many things they say they need. This is disinformation is being spread in. How many different categories? It's like 10 to 15, and they write in everything. They write about, they write about the election. They write about COVID. They write about the school. They write about critical race theory. They write about the white supremacists. They write about January. They write about, they write about water. They write about air. They write about gas. They write about everything. Huh? They write about everything. They say the meat people is disinformation. The gas people spreading disinformation. They lying. Oh, they really doing profits. They really doing this. They lying. Everyone is lying but the Democrats. Right? And the only way you can wake people up is with information. And the only way you can have information is through money or through with power, right? And if you ain't got near one of them, they can shut you the fuck up. Like Tucker Carlson, I can say things that certain people can say, but I'm still at a limit because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm still at a limit on what I can do or what I can say. Like people tell me to go to Rumble, and I'm trying to go to Rumble so I can express myself a little bit more, right? Because this is like so limited, you only can say certain things. But it's I'm gonna find out how to download videos without going through YouTube and get on Rumble, you know? Because sometimes you got to download your videos through YouTube. So it's stuff that I want to talk about, but it's impossible to spread truth on here. And that's crazy. Remember back in the day, you can go to YouTube and see beheadings, right? Remember when war came out and 9/11 and stuff like that, you go on YouTube and stuff and see beheadings. There was nothing you couldn't see. Just slowly start censoring everything. You can't even show certain fights and blood and gore. And I mean, you can't really show anything. Everything is censored. If everything is being censored and we don't do nothing, imagine in 3 years or 4 years how this world gonna be if we don't get the right people in office. Just think. We're gonna be fucked. Right? And the liberals are lying so much and they brainwashing so much with these lies. I'm glad people are starting to wake up because Joe Biden percentage in his polls are starting to drop. So I'm glad people are starting to wake up finally. I just hope they go to them polls. Well, I'm about this bitch. I'll see y'all tomorrow with another video. Thank y'all for donating. Whoever donated, you know what I'm saying? Vanessa, Slaphead, Cooler King, whoever donated. Who else did I can't remember the other names. But thank y'all for donating. And I'm out this bitch. And I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.